Hey, what's up, Neva? How you doing? Zoom, how you doing? Jimmy John Joe Hart, Joe Jar, Johnny. Yep, that J. What's up, Joe? How you doing? Diesel Defects, welcome in. Welcome in, guys. Good to see you, man. Cut a small tree down. Cool, cool. Well, did you use it or did you just cut it down to cut it down? Yeah, because when I cut down trees, hey, what's up, Sing? It's usually because I'm gonna turn them into firewood or use the wood for something. But yeah, we get a lot of trees to cut around here. Come on up there. Let me put the link up there for you. Come on up, Sing. Let's get this party started. There's the link. Come on up. Not sure how they died. Oh, okay. But yeah, shred them, chip them up, use them as mulch. If they're dead like that, it's easy to do. Or you cut them up and use them as firewood. Hell yeah. Trees are very, very useful, even when they're not standing making shade. But yeah, you know, Aaron was talking about wishing he had a mill. I'm building one. Hey, Evie, welcome in. How you doing? Grab a link. Come on up. Let's get the party started this way. Yeah, come on up, Evie. Try it again tonight. It's Friday. It's Thursday night. It's full moon Thursday. Yep, a big bright ass full moon in the sky. It's the universe giving us the pants down treatment. Use the jigsaw to cut it down. Wasn't a very big tree then, huh? Oh, you don't have a chainsaw? Well, you use what you got. Sometimes I just use a tree saw. One of those hand units. Looks like a bow saw. I'm really high. No, it's an awesome idea, Evie. It's like it doesn't exist. Go ahead and hit the link. Come on up. Let's find out. Yeah, it's been a beautiful day. Not a lot of sun. Been overcast. Been threatening to rain all day. It's rained all around us, but it hasn't rained here. So kind of a tick off. At least the water, at least I didn't have to water the garden. I watered it last night pretty hard. It looks like it's retaining its water pretty well, so I didn't have to water today. But yeah, we got a baby zucchini, we got baby jalapenos, we got baby cucumbers and tomatoes. Yeah, the garden's coming along nicely. Soon we'll have lots of green beans and peppers and corn and potatoes and all that jazz too. Hey, Canoes, how you doing, brother?
What's up?
What's happening? Oh, it's just now getting past twilight and people starting shooting off fireworks. I don't say uh-oh because I don't like fireworks. Princess doesn't like fireworks. So hold on a second. I got to go get her. I'm glad you're here. Welcome
Gotcha.
in, bro. Yeah, I got to go let her in. She's going to start freaking out. Yeah, he doesn't like the fireworks. He's like,
Well, she's really not going to like the party then.
well, right. We're going to set her in. I'll set her inside when we start
Yeah.
doing the fireworks and stuff. She's okay as long as she's inside. Otherwise she starts tripping out. It's okay. You do it. It's just people being noisy with their stuff. That's right. But yeah. So what's the weather like there?
It got kind of warm today, not like high 87, 88. It's about 83 now.
Oh yeah.
Or no, it went down a little at 78.
There you go. Well, I just figure anything below 85 is like nice. You know?
Yeah, 80 is a little too much for me. I mean, I can handle it. My favorite temperature range is 75 down to 30.
Oh shit!
Anything in
Right,
between there, I'm fine.
right. Well, it's looking like it's going to be right around 80 to 83 around on 4th of July weekend.
Cool.
But we've got shade. That's
Mm-hmm.
we got shade and breeze coming up the valley. It's beautiful, just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I mowed half the lawn today before I went to work before it got too warm.
All right,
I'll
right.
finish the rest of it tomorrow.
If nothing else, I'll grab one of those radiator fans and one of the solar panels and hook you up with a fan. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'll be fine.
Yeah. Hey, Sing.
Hey
How's it
guys,
going?
how's it going?
So
Oh man.
I was getting ready to crash last night and I left and Emerald, you had Kay on and a couple of her friends on there. And the one guy was telling
Right.
you something was trying to tell you that Trump was the Antichrist or something.
Sounded like he was in that direction. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Talking about the third temple being built, and I don't think he understood what the third temple is. And there's nothing
Right.
being built. Yeah, the third,
Yeah.
the third temple is something as massive as the Temple of Solomon, the original temple, and the second temple was the smaller temples that they put on. To build the third temple, they would have to destroy the rock, which is Muslim mosque, and they would also
Right.
have to
Alexa.
destroy the Jewish. Yeah, yep, and they would also have to destroy the Jewish wall and level the entire Temple Mount to build, and is what the third temple is supposed to be, is a false temple that's a massive false temple that's supposed to be built by the Antichrist. I don't know where they thought something was being built.
Yeah.
I don't know if you read my comments. I was like, please bring this guy back this weekend when I have more time and I can debate this.
Right.
What was
I
going
think-
on there?
Oh, Apex, you were out of it, dude.
Hey, Bex, you were agreeing with him.
Well, last night?
Right.
Yeah.
You were
Bro, I was gone last night.
Yeah, you were hammered.
I killed almost an entire bottle of tequila.
Yeah, he was trying to say that Trump was the false prophet. I was like, no, he doesn't fit the example of the false prophet.
Now, I will say there are certain things that I guess could be viewed as lining up, but it's not quite the same.
No, the false prophet is the religious leader that misleads the church and destroys the Church of the Seven Hills, which is the Vatican.
Right.
And it would also destroy all holy grounds and rebuild their own holy grounds.
Right.
My voice is so shot, guys. It absolutely sucks. I'm gonna see if I can get a high note. That's a high note for me.
what'd you do?
It's rough. It's rough. I can't sing. I can play guitar. I can't sing though.
What did you do?
I'm honestly not sure.
Dehydrated. He ain't been drinking enough water.
Yeah.
I've been having a sore throat for like the last couple days, and then it finally just took over. I've been gargling with salt water, the warm salt water. It hasn't really done much.
Did you do with silver?
Nope, I can't afford it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I got too many other things I gotta put, money towards right now.
Gargle some salt water.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Slow swallow some honey.
Yeah, that too.
I've got some key limes in the fridge here. I was thinking about cutting them in half and just sucking on the juices. Just straight lime juice.
You got any honey?
No, I use it all in the mead.
Well, the limes will help with the vitamin C, but it's acidic, so that probably ain't gonna help your throat feel better.
Not much, yeah.
I mean, not feel better, but it does disinfect anything that's going on in there.
You got some hydrogen.
Kilos for, but apparently not.
You got hydrogen peroxide.
I think maybe.
Try using like half a shot glass worth and swish it around your mouth, like kind of like a mouthwash, and
Yeah.
swallow it. A little bit of hydrogen peroxide won't hurt you if you swallow it, but that'll
Okay.
help any kind of infection in your throat if you got something.
Okay. Will do.
Welcome
And
in,
I
Redneck.
got some silver. When you show up, I can give you a little bit of silver too.
That would be amazing. Thank you, sir.
Hey, there's Kimmy.
What's up, Kimmy?
All right, guys. I've got two different types of wraps. I've got spinach and herb, or I've got tomato basil.
That's what happens when your dog steps on your phone.
Okay. I did it. I'm on my I'm not on the computer. I'm on my tablet thing that Joey and Ryan bought me.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say your little name symbol's different.
Yeah. I thought this one having a camera built into it that hit the camera thing that it should put me up there, but it didn't.
Oh, did you allow the? Oh, wow! I can't even talk. It's actually hurting. Guys, I might honestly jump out and just take a break from talking
Hey,
tonight.
there's my light.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
come
Yeah,
down.
your camera's active now.
all right, Apex, go take a shower.
I'm gonna do that too. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, maybe I got
Did
it
you
on an
stink?
actual light instead of the little light.
All right, guys. I'll stop back by end if you guys are still up.
Oh, you better not take that damn long. But yeah,
Oh.
see you in a bit.
Peace, guys.
All right. Now you were saying, Kimmy?
I went and turned on the actual light instead of the little tiny blue light behind me. Ah, it worked. I told him it would work. And after he got me, him and Joey got me this, I told him to use this and go on.
Right. There you go.
But
Oh,
he
hey, Shaw.
would.
Colonel.
Colonel
Shaw,
Shaw.
This is Emerald's backup channel. None of us had swords at first.
Oh, let me get over there and take care of
Yeah,
that.
hook 'em up.
Well, I did packing today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not that far along yet.
There you go, Colonel.
I'm always a last minute packer.
I
I've got
had
too much shit going on.
my daughter's been getting on me. What am I taking? Because she says I always take too long. When they're ready to go and when everybody's ready to go, I'm still running around the house with like a chicken with my head cut off. You better start packing.
Yeah, just start getting it all together, pack it up, and then set it by the door. You know what I'm saying?
I'm the camera. That way I don't keep going through it.
All right, right. Colonel Shaw. Yeah, Colonel Shaw was going to come up this
I got
evening.
that. Okay. I got the vitamin B12.
Good. And the deep woods off. Bug spray.
Yeah, it was the deep wood one, but it was the off brand. It's for deep woods and it's for ticks and fleas and moss.
There you go. Yep.
But with the B12, I've been taking 2 of them in the morning
Good deal.
and then 2 of
Now,
them
is
at
it
night.
Wizard? Is it better to take the B12 or just the regular B complex?
The B12 is the one. The B12 is, yeah.
Hey, Kimmy, it sounds like you got a tab open in the background, like Twitch or YouTube. We're hearing an echo.
Okay, I have no idea with this thing.
Across the top of the screen, it should have the other windows that were there.
Just close those out.
Not the one that says StreamYard.
Yeah, that's the only one I see.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It might be a lag issue.
Yeah, because this thing, every time I would sit by Ryan and was on this, I was always behind.
Oh, right.
The cargo carrier that I ordered showed up today.
Oh, Colonel, you got to. Oh, that's right. Tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Today is Friday for Colonel Shaw. He's coming up tomorrow night.
Oh, okay, Saturday night.
All right, Colonel Shaw. God bless you. Have a good one, bud. And we'll see you tomorrow night or tomorrow morning. Rock on, buddy.
Take care, Shaw.
Kimmy, you might want to refresh. You might need to shut down the tab and then reopen it.
Oh,
That might take care of the.
like I said, I was just shocked that this thing even did it.
Yeah, it's breaking up. God bless you, Colonel Shaw. Have a great day. So, Singularity.
Yes, sir.
So, you're talking about buying a piece of land down here, right?
There's a 10-acre lot. It's that one I told you about. I know you warned me about flooding, but
Right.
it's the one I told you about that is 10 acres, and I think there's 500 foot of waterfront on it.
Oh, wow.
And it's like there's a river that winds through the parcel, and it's kind of weird because there's only like basically 20 foot of it on one side of the river, and then the other side all the land is there. So on the other side of the river, it's kind of weird how the property line runs, because there's only like 20 foot over there you really couldn't do anything with.
Right.
But there's 10 acres. And it is in Washington County. I can't remember what town it was by. He said it was a town of about 1,200 people. And it was it would have been the western, pretty much the most western part of Washington County there.
Hold on a second. Let me see. Let me look at a map real quick. Well, let's see. I'm up on P Ridge.
It's it almost reminds me of like Native American, like Nantic or something like that. The name of the town. I know that's not it, but it's kind of
Anthony's Mill.
no, not that one. There's 280 acres by that, but I don't have $750,000.
Right, don't have that kind of money.
Yeah, that, and it's nice land. The pictures that I saw of it. I wish I had $750,000 because that 280 acres is nice, and it's been contracted out for trees before, so it's all cleaned up. All the trees are in rows. It's a nice looking piece of land.
Right. Oh wow. There's Potosi. After
I'm pretty sure it started with an N, like Nantic. It reminds me of Nantucket, but it's not Nantucket. But it reminded me of that, the name.
okay. Wow, I'm not sure. Because
And I know he said Washington County.
Neosho?
That might be it. It sounded very Native American to me. Let me see if I can minimize without losing y'all.
I'm seeing Neosho, Niangua.
Is Niagua N-I something?
Niangua.
Okay, that might be it.
I'm not actually seeing that on the map. Actually,
It's not a very big town. He said about 1,200 people. He said it has a clinic, not a full hospital, but a clinic, a grocery store, and like a little type of five and dime, and then like some type of tractor supply store.
What county? What did you say it was in?
It's in Washington County, Missouri.
No, it's not that one then. Let me take a look here.
I'm on my laptop. I'll try to find his email. I know it's 10 acres. It's on kind of a hillside, and there's a river in the low spot. There's a river that runs into it, and it splits like 20 foot of the land, which kind of sucks because 20 foot for 500 foot, that's kind of a chunk.
Oh. I'm not really seeing that. Caledonia, Belgrade, Peoria, Laddie, Aptus, Peak Ridge, Anthony's Mill,
Rabbitville.
Johnstown. Huh?
There's Rabbitville and Happy Hollow and Frogtown.
Oh, you see Happy Hollow? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also Sleepy Hollow and Hamilton Hollow.
Shibboleth, Robidoux, Racola, Frenchtown, Floyd.
But Richwood?
Yeah, Richwood. I don't see anything with an N other than Northcutt.
It's got to be one of those small things because, like, we're actually part of Johnsonville Township, but I've never seen a sign. I don't think we even have a town for it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's got a fire department. That's about it.
You're in the same county?
Yeah, I'm in Washington County.
Okay.
It
Oh,
may be based on a firehouse. On a fire.
okay. That's not in Washington County. I'm sorry. It's a far western part of the state. It's actually a town called Nevada.
Oh shit, that's over by Redneck.
I think California told me that was in Washington County, though.
I was like, I ain't
Mr.
heard it.
Salt.
No. Now that doesn't. Is that area? That area would be treed too, right? Like forested, because he says there's a lot of trees. That
I
is
think it's
covered
a
in
forest prairie mix.
Yeah.
So it's not like the hills where. Cause see, I don't want that. I want the hilly area like where you're at. That's
Right.
where I want to have a cabin.
Yeah. Go to Google Maps and put in Washington County,
Washington County.
Missouri. Yeah.
Okay.
Missouri. And it'll pull up a map of Washington County on the overlay. The main town for the county seat is in Potosi.
Whoa! Wow! I just zoomed way out and saw like the whole world.
Oh wow.
That went quick. Okay, Washington County. So you're. How big is Jefferson City?
Jefferson City,
That's
that's
the capital.
the capital of Missouri.
No shit. Jesus, I suck at my capitals. Now see Liberty. I know that's where the 280 acres are, but that land up in that area is pricey. I mean, cheap per acre, but there's a lot of acres.
Right.
They're bigger tracks.
Right.
Welcome back, Kim.
How you doing,
Hi.
Kimmy?
Is it still carrying on?
Check, check. No, the echo's gone, but your audio is a little bit choppy. And now the echo's back.
All right.
Do you have headphones
Maybe
or earbuds?
No, not on this thing. I did, but I'll go ahead and get on the actual computer.
Or you could just mute yourself if you're not talking.
There you go. And that way, when you want to say something, you just unmute it and then
Yeah.
talk, and then.
Meanwhile,
Fire in the bowl.
fire in the bowl.
Brought to you by Sausage Gravy Biscuit Farms.
.com.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Did Don happen to mention when he's planning on showing up?
Not exactly yet.
Okay. What's up, battery?
Fire in the bowl.
But he was talking about going to Alabama or something to get his RV worked on.
With a banjo on his knee.
Hey, Emerald, what do you know about our Ozark Country Real Estate LLC? It's in Potosi, Missouri.
Those, yeah, I don't know much about it, but it'd be worth a resource. You know what I'm saying?
They're the ones that emailed me back on some different properties and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's
They have a 4.1 star rating on Google reviews.
nice.
How did you? You
I
can.
just
Okay.
I just Googled it.
Oh, sorry.
5-star rating.
Oh, I'm on Bing. No wonder,
Right?
man.
Is
Bing.
Bing? I didn't even realize Bing was still a thing.
Yeah.
You know what though?
Bing.
I'd go with their listings. I'd check out their listings. I wouldn't sign
Yeah.
nothing. You know what I'm saying? Of course.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And I even told them that because they gave me they sent me a link to this. Apparently, there's these people that you can put so much down and bid on it a month, and you don't even have to go visit. And I'm like, no.
Yeah,
I want to go
not
see
kind
the
of-
land.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
want
what you want to do. Right?
Yeah, I want the paperwork, see the land. Plus, I don't want to pay for it 10 times over with financing.
Correct.
Yeah. If I can't get it now, I will save until I can get it.
Correct. Right. Absolutely.
Ugh. That Bing is on this new gateway I got. I got a gateway laptop that I just use for online shopping and then receipts and stuff for business.
Right.
And it came with all that Microsoft crap on it.
Oh, right. My Bing cherry tree is having problems dealing with the drought. I watered it, and it doesn't look like it helped. Looked like it might have hurt it. My black
Yeah,
cherry tree.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, I watered it pretty good for the last couple days. I went out and looked at it, and I'm not thinking I helped it. You know what I'm saying? The other ones look great now, but that one, I don't know what happened. I'm not sure.
Look, the tomatoes are doing okay in the sun now.
Oh yeah,
They've adjusted.
yeah, my tomatoes are doing good. I lost another tomato plant today.
Oh,
Looks like we caught a rabbit in the trap, and the dogs. I let them out this morning, and the dogs were trying to get at the rabbit in the trap, and actually messed up one of the tomato plants.
well,
Yeah,
yes.
but they got the rabbit. They turned the cage upside down and got the rabbit. So, yeah,
Pepper.
yeah, there you go. Looks like you're about a week and a half ahead of me on the growth.
This one you started before I did.
Well,
is
I
the-
was direct planting too.
This is the other bell pepper. It's growing much
Yeah.
different.
I'm doing a lot of direct planting, and I'm not working in hydroponics either.
This one's on the self-watering.
Right, on the tray. Right.
Look at that.
Yes,
But-
Leviticus. Wizard of Osmo. Correct.
Check out that bud. Pretty big, huh?
Yeah. What is that, artichoke?
Yep. There's another one right there. And another one right here.
Oh, wow.
This is first year.
Nice.
Up, supposed to produce the first year. And I'm going over to the other one. And there's a bud right here.
Oh, wow.
I guess I planted them in a really good soil. They're doing great. Where'd it be? My
Right.
onions are really drawing the bees.
Now, Wizard, how far away are you from Raymondsville? Ever hear of that?
No, actually, I haven't.
Okay.
But I'm right there. on the map where it says Pea Ridge, 15 miles southeast of Sullivan.
Gotcha.
Okay. Do you have any corn growing?
Yes. And it's about waist high.
Oh, this is much shorter. But this is popcorn.
Oh, wow.
I've got about 20 plants in there. And they
Yeah,
got,
I uploaded
they got
a
a
video.
Bean Buddies.
I uploaded a video the other day.
Blueberries.
That apparently was not the video link. He just took himself
thing-
off.
These things are loaded. Some of them almost ready. Thinned out the tomatoes. They're going to be loaded with tomatoes. Might have to put some stakes in there to prop them up. Looks like these peas are about done. This side, anyway. The other side's still doing good. But I found pill bugs eating the leaves on this one. It didn't produce.
What's up, Natural Nation? How you doing?
I hit the wrong button.
It happens to the best of us.
Right.
Mhm.
Some of us regularly.
Hey, Wizard, do you ever have any problems with
There's
pill
my
bugs?
corn. There's my corn. You see that?
Nice.
And my carrots, then my onions.
You ever have pill bugs eating your plants?
No, I haven't had that.
Well, they started eating on this one pea plant, but it was diseased, so I guess that's why. Because they go after diseased.
Hey, Emerald, is that wood chip or is that straw? Straw
Oh, that's wood chips. Yep.
wood chip.
Wood.
Does it,
Yeah, wood chip.
That
Nice.
is the best mulch.
The whole garden is done with it.
nice.
Do you
Do
compost
you have a
grass?
chipper?
Do I what?
Do you have a chipper?
Yes, but it's not a big one. It's it'll do up to 2.5 inch branch. But we do have a place that up in Sullivan that you can go and just load up whatever. You know, a lot of people bring their down branches and stuff out there, and they'll chip them up and put them in a big ass pile. And then you go out there and you can take a trailer and load it up, and we've done that about 5 or 6 times to get all the wood chips into the garden. But yeah, I have to make soil. This is the second year on this garden, and yeah, what I'm showing here is all the volunteer watermelon plants. I've got all these. I had watermelons planted there last year, and I guess I've got all these volunteer watermelon plants now.
No,
There's the
mine didn't
potatoes.
produce.
Those little 2.5 inch chippers, I've got one of those too. It's a 6.5 horse. Those
Yeah.
things will do anything you need to do though, because anything bigger than that, I'll burn as firewood. So
Right.
It'll
That's
two
exactly
feet
what we do. All the
Yeah.
branch wood that's 3 inches or bigger. Yeah, we cut it up
Yep.
for firewood.
same here. So I mean, it does. Those things do a lot. They chip like crazy. You don't want to accidentally send a piece of wire through it, though. I found that out the hard way.
Right. Definitely not.
Hey, Wizard, do you compost grass clippings?
Actually, in a sense, I do, because we feed the grass and that stuff, what we do keep of it, to the rabbits and the chickens.
Oh,
We feed it.
okay.
And-
That's
right.
one way.
then we fe- Uh-huh.
That's one way.
Right. And then we take all the rabbit manure and we throw it in the garden.
I just found out you cannot overload with rabbit manure.
Yeah, it's not a hot fertilizer.
Chicken
Like-
manure is.
Yeah, see that's the live cage I got. We've caught 2 rabbits in it so far. So,
Huh.
But before I let the dogs out tomorrow morning, I got to check the trap and make sure there's nothing in it, because they
Yep.
killed a tomato plant off to the side there, going after the rabbit.
The reason I asked about the grass, I've always put my grass clippings in my compost. Well,
Right.
I found out it slows the compost down because it takes out all the oxygen out.
Right. It's highly cellulitic.
What was recommended is if
cellulose.
you, instead of putting it into the compost, spread it around your garden as mulch. It breaks down faster.
Oh wow. Well, I
And it
generally just yeah.
It makes
Where-
it so you don't have to water as much either.
Well, we've got the wild grass out in the woods, and it's like straw or hay. You know what I'm saying? It's basically hay, and we harvest that to deal with the animals as much as possible. And
Shoot. I got to get off here. My phone is heating up big time.
oh, okay. Oh man.
And
See that?
and the battery's going down fast.
All right, battery. Well, we'll talk to you soon.
All right. I'll still be in the chat.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Good.
plug-
That's what I use the straw. I mean, I'm in wheat country, so straw is everywhere here. We got more
Right.
straw than trees. So
Well, I like the wood chips because they break down better into soil.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It takes a couple of years for straw to actually break down.
and even shredded that straw, it plays hell on even the rear tine
Correct.
rototillers.
Yeah. But this wood chips, this fall, after I get done and I turn it in, I pull the fences out and turn in the ground.
Yeah.
I'll try and cover it with wood chips again and let it sit over the winter.
Nice. I'm gonna have to try that because
Right. And then I till it in spring and row it up and then backfill between the rows with mulch again.
nice. I set right on top of a caliche clay area, a seam, so we've got massive. If it dries up, it's hard as a rock.
Right. But yeah, I had to do something about the rabbits because they was eating all the green beans, the plants. But my zucchinis are jamming. Look at all those blooms.
Nice.
And
Hey,
I
Bill.
actually have a zucchini on the plant. They're jamming.
Your guys is doing a lot better than mine. Mine got so sunbaked the last few weeks.
Oh yeah, my only herb that came up was the basil. The basil's coming up.
I like your arches you made, the vining arches.
Oh yeah, the kettle panel.
Yep,
Yeah,
I did. I
It
did
worked out.
3 foot. Sorry about that. What?
Go ahead.
Oh, I just did 3 foot tall, of 3 foot tall fencing with steel posts. I never even thought about the arches, but I like that because they'll dangle down if they get up high enough.
Yes. And What I've noticed is the tomato plants always outgrow the 4-foot fence.
Yeah.
And it's always a tick off. And the green beans become unmanageable once they reach the top of the fence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, we do the archway, we put the green beans on one side, tomatoes on the other. They can grow together into the middle.
Nice.
Right.
My tomatoes are bolting right now.
Yeah.
What do y'all know about English ivy?
It spreads like a motherfucker if you don't keep it under control.
Really? I wish
Oh,
it
yeah.
would here. I'm trying to get it to go up the side of my house, and I cannot keep it alive.
Well, I don't know if my variety is technically English ivy, but I got two sides of my barn that are completely covered with it.
Oh, I bet it is. See, that's what I like. I always thought that was really cool when it goes up the side of the building.
I've got Oregon grape that's like, I just cannot control it.
See, my problem here is bindweed.
Now, if you take cuttings off of that and you reroot them, you should be able to grow a regular plant with properly setting them up so that you can manicure them and everything.
Nice.
You should be able to grow an actual great plant that would be productive.
I should have started on something simpler like that because I started on globe willows and my thujas, the evergreens, and
Oh, really?
only about half of them are still trying.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I like globe willows.
I do too. They're just so crazy pricey. I was hoping I could get some of my own going.
I'll give you my willow tree. I don't want nothing to do with this fucking thing. It's nuts.
I like the weeping willows and the globe willows. Those are good. But yeah, in my opinion,
this is a
willows are
weeper.
good.
It's growing out
Really?
of the side of my pond. It's a very messy tree.
I bet it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Kind of.
A weeping
especially
willow?
having that water from the pond.
Oh yeah,
Oh, right.
the thing grows so fucking fast. It takes up too much space. Like it takes up like a quarter of the shoreline of the pond.
Oh, I bet they get massive.
But it cools down everything.
It makes a nice shady spot for all the fucking Canada geese that come over there and shit all over the lawn.
Oh, geez.
I got so much goose shit at my place, it's ridiculous.
My dad chopped our weeping willow down when I was a kid. He couldn't stand that tree.
My aunt planted one over at her place, and she planted it right next to a fence, and it's growing around the fence. Like the limbs will grow around one of the wires of the fence and, you know, just surround it and grow through it and everything. I had to go trim it for her back in the spring. It was a fucking nightmare.
Oh,
And there goes Bill.
Must have had to take the call.
Yep.
yeah, but I know I worry about the plants, but I planted so much. I shouldn't have any problems with anything. I tell you what, the more beer I put on the tomato plants, the more they love it.
Well, the only thing I would say just from your videos, like those volunteer watermelon plants, those things are going to spread. They might like try and take over like the next row, like where you had your onions or whatever.
And that's okay. Actually, I'm going to guide them towards the corn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's okay for them to take up that whole area between the onions and the corn. I'm good with that.
You need
See,
to make square watermelons, the cube ones.
Right.
I went the other direction last year. Instead of I did a small garden, but I bought a bunch of those 3-in-1 and 5-in-1 fruit trees, and then grapevines and stuff like that I put in.
Oh,
Which
really?
my cherry tree, it was a 3-in-1, and the only one alive on it now is the North Star branch coming off of it, which are good cherries. But I lost the Bing and then the American Sweet.
Oh, wow. Right. Yeah, those grafted trees, they rarely take off well.
Yep, that's what somebody told me recently after I paid $250 a piece for them.
Right. Well, I found out what I basically was doing. I wanted one of the combination apple trees. I wanted red delicious, yellow delicious, and Granny Smith. Right. And I found a couple, and the reviews were not too well. Second year, first year reviews were not good, And
Yeah.
I went and talked to the arborist and stuff like that. He says, you want something like that? Go buy a tree of each and plant them, 6 inches apart from each other. You know what I'm saying? And then let them grow
Makes
up like
sense.
that. And he says, if space is your issue, just plant them close together. They'll grow together.
Yep.
But they'll have a full genome for the apple.
Yep. Self-pollinating.
And see, my apple is the only one doing good. It's got 5. It's got the Honey Crisp, the Yellow Delicious, Golden Delicious, one that's like a Rama or something like that. It's a little red apple.
Right.
And then some other type. I could not find one, and I'm like you. I like the Granny Smiths. I could not find one with the Granny Smith on it.
Oh, wow. Right.
That's why I'd love to have a couple acres so I could take half an acre and just, like you say, plant a tree of each.
Yeah. Right. I just want, like 3 or 4 trees of each, maybe 5. That's it.
Yeah.
I just want maybe 5 trees of each. Each kind of apple, pear, plum,
Yeah.
cherry.
Well, heck, you could store that forever. I mean,
Peaches.
for a long time.
Right. Peaches, apricots, that kind of thing.
You ever heard of goji berry?
Yep.
Yeah.
I planted 2 of those, and apparently they do really good in clay, because those are the only things really taking off right now.
I don't know
Yeah.
anything about them though.
Right. I'm trying to figure out where to stick this mulberry tree. I've got a mulberry tree that's growing, and I want to transplant it. I'm trying to figure out where to stick it.
Next to your driveway.
No, I'm sticking it next to my driveway. I grew up with mulberry trees. Once they take root, you can't get rid of them. You can't get rid of them.
My sister's house has some, and the birds eat them, and they poop little purple spots all over their cars constantly.
Yeah, I got a neighbor across the street that has one. That section of the road in front of their house always has red stains.
My driveway, another place I used to live, had a mulberry tree right over the freaking driveway. You couldn't. You had to. There was nowhere to park. If you parked it in the carport, it'd still get shit all over because the birds would just go land on your vehicle, and then they just shit all over it. They'll land on your vehicle, fighting over the mulberries.
Right. So I was looking for a place away from the house, away from the yard, away from the driveway. I think I'm gonna stick it over with my in one of the barrier areas where we got all these berries. We got the black raspberries and the blackberry bushes and trees and stuff. I'm thinking of sticking it over there.
And you'll probably have bears over there.
Oh, we're gonna have a buttload of them by the time 4th of July comes around.
I
No,
tell you
I'm-
what, if you decide to do grapes, one thing I learned, if you do grapes, be prepared to put netting over it because those birds will clean off the grapevines.
Oh yeah. Yep, I'm familiar with that.
Yep.
Well, maybe starting a scarecrow situation might be in order.
No, that ain't gonna work.
Mm.
Even with a net, you're fighting with them because they'll fight through the nets.
Yep.
I like I said, I had an 80-foot grape fence, a privacy fence I built, and we rigged it to run grape vines on it. I had red, white, and Concord grapes all on it, and we were doing really well with it. And I turned around and I went and got a bunch of half-inch PVC and built a frame around it, and then bought the netting to cover the whole fence. And we covered the whole damn thing. And we were still, every once in a while, we'd have to chase a bird out of there because they'd get in somehow.
Now, I don't know if it works or not, but I remember driving in California through the San Joaquin Valley and seeing flashes coming out of the orchards. I mean, miles and miles of orchards in the San Joaquin Valley, and I wonder what is that flashing, you know? And finally got close to one and pulled over to the side of the road and walked up and saw they were pie tins. They had pie tins hung in all the trees in all the orchards for miles and miles. And I'm wondering if they were using that to keep birds away.
That's part of it, yeah.
Here they sell boomsticks, those little things you put out and are solar charged, and they make a pop every so often.
Yep. So like a gun, like a 30-06 going off.
Yep. Just since I'm in town, I'm not sure my neighbors would enjoy that too much.
Right.
But maybe that biking thing idea works. I don't know.
Yeah, it does to a certain degree, yeah.
I'm willing to try it because I actually want some grapes this year. I think I got one strand off the Concords last year. Everything else was, I mean, they bring it to the twig. They just clean it off.
Well, I'll tell you what I found is that bluebirds are really good because they don't mess with the fruit. And in the garden. It's really weird, but that's bluebirds.
So they keep the other birds away and they don't mess with it.
Correct.
Nice.
They'll keep the robins and the cardinals away from your fruit.
See, and we've got robins, and then we've got these little finch, the little wild finch everywhere here. And those little things get in everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the finches. And they eat on everything. They'll even eat the leaves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Around here, our biggest problem is the startlings. They're huge flocks of them will settle down, you know, in an orchard and just devastate a crop.
Right.
Thousands of them.
I heard about the starling problems. Clouds of them.
Yep. There are
The
those
starlings.
Yeah, they're the ones that if you see big flocks of them flying around, they do crazy, like synchronized acrobats in the air and everything.
Are those the ones that scream? Have that weird scream?
I don't know about that.
Okay. Speaking of screaming, the other night I was chatting with you guys and I had to push mute real quick because I dropped my phone. I don't know if I told you, a friggin' coyote, or not a coyote, a fox was right outside my window.
You told me.
Yeah, scared the shit out of me.
That's funny.
Had no idea they made that type of sound. I mean, it sounded like a little kid just screaming bloody murder.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that because I'm like, when I first moved down here, I heard that and I was like, I ain't heard that noise before. That sounds like somebody out there making a noise. He goes, no, that's been out there for the last week or two. And turn around and turned out to be a fox.
Yep.
Yeah, they're very they got a lot of different types of vocalizations. They can sound like a screaming baby, like that wants its mama.
That's just creepy. See, where I grew up, we don't have them here as much. But where I grew up, we had bobcats, and those things would make funny sounds. And but they did it to lure other things in.
Well, if you ever like go on YouTube, watch. They have videos of like two bobcats getting into fights with each other. And before they actually get physical, they'll stare each other off and make all kinds of goofy fucking noises at each other.
Yep. And they're not big, but they'll tear a person up.
Oh, hell yeah, they will. Shit. Stronger than most house cats.
What's that?
They're usually a little bit bigger and stronger than house cats.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah, we had a problem with some of our female cats having bobtail kittens out on the farm because they'll breed with domestic cats.
Oh wow!
Yep. I'm gonna have to charge my phone. Doggone it. If Kay comes back with her friend, tell them to be here this weekend when I have more time because I really want to talk to him.
Oh yeah. Grab a cord and plug your phone in.
Yeah, I might just grab it and see how long it lasts.
Yeah, I was wanting to talk to Hawk. He was the one that was talking about having doing that veterans home thing.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to talk to him about, but that wasn't going to happen with everybody on the stream.
Yeah, there was a lot of people on there.
Yeah.
And that one guy going full, everyone's the Antichrist stuff. He was the most talkative.
Right. I was like, no, that's not how that works. You know, just 'cause you don't like them. Yeah.
Jerusalem being the capital is not a sign of coming doom. That's actually a good thing.
Right. He gets a head injury. Well, he's the head of the party. No, that's not how that works.
Yeah. It's some of the things people grasp at are just, they make us all look like we're just completely bonkers.
Right. I think they had a little Q influence on it. What do you think?
Unfortunately, yeah.
I think two people supporting Trump are making it actually doing more damage than they are good.
The Q people are good people, but there's some of them that hopped in there that were just way out there. They got carried away. And
well, they got involved after Q was corrupted.
That might have been it. They weren't in it from the get-go.
Correct. They don't know about James Corsi. You know what I'm saying? They don't know about all that stuff beforehand.
Well, and the funny thing is a lot of those that really go to the extremes are the ones that still follow Corsi. And we've tried to tell them, you know, on both sides, because I still talk to a lot of Q people. I still talk to all the info people, you know. I try to stay in touch with both sides. Hopefully we can all come together and everything and kick, you know, not kick the others out, but get them straightened out a little bit to where they're not so extreme on either side. But the ones that are really out there are the ones that are still following Corsi. It's like, oh no, he corrupted a lot of it. He tried to make money off of it. It's like,
I'm not a fan of Corsi.
Right. No, I'm not even. No. He even screwed over Jones and them.
Yeah. All about the same time.
Yeah. Yep. Right around the same time.
Well,
Yeah,
where did Q go now?
Well, if you remember, he got real sick, and then all of a sudden he got really wealthy.
Corsi, yeah.
He
Yeah,
sold out.
Yep.
But why don't we hear any Q drops now?
Because things keep on. Because it's been opened up. Because it's been shut down, basically, because it was exposed.
And I've heard, you know, a lot of different things that originally it was legit and then it got corrupted. You know, and there's a lot of people that think that it was some group kind of like, Julian Assange. I've heard all sorts of different things. And it doesn't concern me what or who they were. I mean, it does if they were corrupt, but at the same time, the people, to me, it's the people that follow them. Most of those are good patriots. They really are. They
No,
They
I
are.
did-
They're good people. Just they've been misled or misinformed.
Now, I did see an article in the news today. The left media is going apeshit over some personality that's on One American News Network who's been tied into, you know, the Q crowd. Apparently, this guy went on a rant the other day on OANN, basically saying, yeah, you know, what's going to happen with all these people when they're finally convicted of, you know, treason for the election fraud and everything. And he's like, we used to have this really, you know, simple thing in this country for that kind of thing, and it's called executions. And he started going off and basically saying that, you know, we need to do mass executions of, you know, probably like 100,000 people that are all tied into this whole fraud. And the left just blew their shit about it.
Yeah, because they're all on the news.
Yep.
They're all
taking money or
Yep. They're all in line for the news.
And 99% of Fox News is the same way. I mean, I
don't watch any mainstream news unless there's like an actual like ongoing situation where you want, you know, some kind of information. I'll look at Fox, but that's about it.
I'll do
like yesterday or when that fucking building collapsed in Miami. You know, I looked at a couple Fox News articles about it, but that was it.
Right.
And I like Hannity, but he's the one that even if Trump did do wrong, he wouldn't call him on. Right. And that's what worries me. I don't want to get somebody so deep into it that's why a lot of people used to get mad at Tucker Carlson, but Tucker Carlson calls it how it is. I really like it.
Yeah, I like Tucker Carlson. And Lou Dobbs was another one.
Yeah.
My dad was a big Bill O'Reilly fan.
Now, see, I think O'Reilly was I don't like the word paid opposition, but he was
more of a traditional celebrity than he was like a credible source.
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
To me.
Well, I categorize him as a fan of the Rhino Republican.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. In the pocket somehow.
Yeah. With his $10,000 shoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody?
What's up, Apex? You're live.
I don't know. I'm here. My voice is not, but I'm here. God, my voice is cracking like I'm going through puberty again.
Look at you saying again like it already happened once.
Like it already happened.
Oh, Apex.
The name is Apex. I'm going through puberty again.
Apex, the cargo carrier showed up today.
Oh, sweet. Awesome.
A day early. I was really impressed. I bought it through Walmart. and they
Nice.
said 2-day shipping, and it was more like 1-day shipping.
Nice.
It must have been close.
Right. That's a plus. So is it really that as big as it looks?
I haven't taken it out of the box yet. I just opened it up to make sure it wasn't ripped up or anything.
Oh, right on.
But it looks decent. 18 cubic feet, so
18 cubic feet, Jeebus. Nice. Hey, I've got a question. Why did Chris Carter have to make such a damn good show called The X-Files?
it was so everybody could look at Gillian Anderson.
This
and
is
drool.
true. Gillian Anderson. But I mean, like, the story. Oh my god, I fucking hate talking right now. I sound like a little kid. Anyways,
Drink some water with some ice chips. That might help.
yeah. I like this. I just watched the episode of how the lone gunmen first got like introduced to each other. I love that episode. Well, actually, any of the lone gunmen episodes are pretty good.
I never got into. Is that a Western?
Yeah.
No, the lone gunmen were. It was a group of
From X-Files. Gotcha.
from
Gotcha.
X-Files, yeah. I think they had a spin-off show or something like
Hey,
that
Tim.
at one point.
Yeah, I think you're right. It like maybe
Yeah,
like
okay.
half a season.
Yeah.
No, I had 2 seasons.
Hmm.
I remember watching them. They were pretty good,
Oh yeah.
but they got too close to exposing conspiracy theory level shit,
Oh,
and they
yeah,
brought it back.
that. The FCC wouldn't allow that.
Right. Well, that was the time when Ventura, Jesse Ventura was on. Stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
You want to play real X-Files stuff? Go whitewater rafting down the Grand Canyons, through the Grand Canyons, and pull over sometime and camp out and go up into some of those caves. From what I hear, those caves are shut off, and yeah, you'll get the black helicopters and everything flying around.
Oh wow. I did not know that.
Now, speaking of black helicopters, did you guys see the story today about what happened down in Arizona? It was just released today, but apparently they had an incident back in February where a super high-powered, high-tech drone started flying over Tucson and was being chased by Border Patrol and police helicopters for over 70 miles, and the helicopters couldn't keep up with this thing.
Oh, that's crazy.
It like violated military airspace, like flew over an Air Force base, did all kinds of crazy shit. And it wasn't like low to the ground. This thing was like 15,000 feet up.
Jeebus.
See, in Colorado,
Are you sure it was a drone?
Yeah, they got sight of it and everything, and they're speculating it was Chinese made.
Oh.
see, in Colorado about 5 or 6 years.
Russia's getting real close to doing some stupid shit. Have you guys been following the news here lately?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're getting real close to pulling off some stupid shit.
What are you talking about? The exercise in the Pacific?
35 miles off of
It was a lot further away from Hawaii than 35 miles, dude.
I don't know, man. That's what it was being reported as.
Yeah,
35 miles off the coast. But there was that, and then they were also dropping bombs in front of and shooting live ammo at UK patrols in the Black Sea. Same exact day.
now all the pieces that I've read about the Pacific thing, they were saying they were more than 200 miles off the coast of Hawaii.
Okay. I don't know. My news thing comes up with some weird numbers sometimes, so it could have done.
Oh, look, believe me, if Russian ships got within 35 miles of Hawaii, it would be the story of the century. You know, and we
Yeah.
would like every military aircraft and ship in Hawaii would be out there right now.
Right.
Well, and Russia's active military, actually working navy, is not very big. Most of the subs and stuff you hear about are actually in dry dock and
Yeah, but they've got new subs out though that are fully operational, whole new classes of them.
Yeah.
Both attacks and missile subs.
Bro, I bet honestly they've got submersibles that we have no clue what they are.
Diesel's
Well,
talking
yeah.
about those. Diesel's talking about those drones. They tried to tell us that it wasn't actually happening, and he said he saw them too. We saw them here too. There was a guy from Phillips County that actually got charges brought against him. There were federal charges brought against him for shooting one.
Yeah.
And because they were just, and it is what one of the stories is that it was just a basic military mapping, and they were literally flying by people's houses, these drones, and they were all in a grid. And like Diesel said, they like mimic, formations and geese formations and stuff like that. It was weird.
It's been an ongoing story for a few years now about that. Eastern Colorado, and then like Western Kansas and Nebraska. It does sound like a mapping mission.
Yeah.
So who knows?
But why? I mean, they should have all this area. Hell, they do. The Air Force comes from Colorado Springs up around here. We'll see Air Force stuff all the time, and then loop back around through Kansas, and then New Mexico, and then come up back into Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
So they should have a lot of that back, I would think. I don't know. It was just really weird stuff.
Well, if you ask me, if it's mapping, they're going to be using like ground penetrating radar type shit. They might be like trying to do a close survey of stuff that's underground.
Right, Diesel. Yep. They weren't like a tiny little drone. I mean, they were small, but they weren't like an itty bitty little, remote controlled drone. These things were
professional.
Interesting. Yeah. And they were loud.
Now, have you seen, they're not really drones because they're actually piloted, but they're based on drone technology over in the Middle East. One of those, I think it's Dubai or the United Arab Emirates. They have quadcopter type hover bikes for their national police force. And they're like fully operational. It can go like 200 miles per hour. And it's just like sitting in a big quadcopter drone.
Yep. And Dubai is actually wanting to mass produce them. I saw a thing on that where they could be the first country to mass produce drivable drones, basically.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that there are a lot of countries around the world that are developing their own drone technology. Even small, like Turkey, Italy, Hungary, Brazil's doing it, South Korea, I think Vietnam, Cambodia.
Yeah.
There's a lot of places that got their own domestic drone companies.
Oh, have you seen the Gen 5 jets they're talking about that launch their own little drones, and they can be a drone themselves?
Yep.
That is insane. And yeah, what did you, the swarm technology or whatever?
Gen 6 is what they're currently developing. I'm not sure if that went through or not.
I didn't hear him.
Hang on. Yeah, my voice sucks. That's why. I said Gen 5 is what we currently have. But what they're currently developing is that the Gen 6 stuff that damn near like resembles alien technology.
Maybe that, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
'cause-
not these Tic Tacs and all the other bullshit that they're talking about UFOs. It's all Gen 6 aircraft technology. Whether it's ours or theirs, I don't know.
I know I heard from an engineer one time that said that anything that you know of our military has, they have something way more advanced than that if they
oh
need
yeah. Yeah, just look back at how long the original stealth fighter was operational before it was actually made public.
What was it, the 70s, late 70s it was actually operational?
They started working on the blueprints in the late 60s,
Yeah.
and it started as Project Have Blue.
The Delta Wing design came from the Nazis themselves back in World War II. Like the Nazis were making Delta Wing craft prototypes.
They were trying, but they weren't successful.
Yeah, I credit it more to the genius of the people that were working at Lockheed Martin.
I agree.
Yeah.
Kelly Johnson and his crew at the Skunk Works, they were just
Skunk Works.
amazing people. And they're the ones that are handling the Air Force's new B-21 Raider bomber, which is supposed to go into production next year.
Did you know that the Black Widow, when Northrop was going against Lockheed
Dude,
had the Raptor.
The YF-23.
Yeah.
That was such a badass, amazing plane.
Yes.
It would have beaten the pants off if they put it in the production. It would have had a better service record than the F-22 by far.
They actually had to use some of because they did their own software, they wrote their own code, everything. They actually had to use some of the YF-23 stuff for the Raptor to develop it. So Northrop was still making money.
Yeah, it was a concession at the end of the contract war. I read all about that. It's a beautiful fucking plane.
It outperformed the Raptor. I remember watching the video.
The bottom line was it was more expensive.
Yep. And they thought they had the contract. When they got the call and said they didn't get the contract, they were all stunned. It's insane because even that Vector, the exhaust vectoring or whatever, that was actually the YZ.
The thrust vectoring, yeah.
The thrust vectoring, thank you. That was actually the Black Widow.
Yeah, I've seen F-22s do some crazy maneuvers, but yeah. And then the Russians have their version of it, the PAC-5, I think they call it. It's a lot bigger.
The Russians are really still going after that dogfighting capability, though. I think they're kind of behind because their new generation is all still about. I mean, they could outperform the F-22 in a dogfight, but the F-22 can sense them and kill them from 2 miles away or more or whatever it is.
Well, the emphasis is going down for straight interceptors because of the missile technology. Why risk a pilot if you can do a standoff weapon that's hypersonic?
Yep. God, I'd love to fly one of those. Would go for it.
Somewhere I've got video. I'm gonna have to find it. Probably about 8 or 9 years ago, the Air Force was testing the first generation of the hypersonic missile that they're working on right now. and they dropped it from a B-52 over the Pacific Firing Range by Kwajalein. And this thing, mind you, first generation, it left the plane and immediately went to like Mach 6.
Chivas.
And they're saying now that the latest generation can hit Mach 17.
I was hearing about like Mach 10, Mach 11. But damn, dude, Mach 17s, that's crazy.
They can be anywhere, launched from anywhere, and be anywhere on the surface of the planet within 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, don't they have a fully crewed battleship right now with a railgun that they're basically maneuvers with it, but it's actually fully crewed?
Navy railgun is done.
Okay,
The Navy just announced this past week that the new fiscal year has zero funding for the railgun project.
Yeah, they mothballed that.
That sucks.
Yeah.
They're just going to put it all into storage and put it on hold for another year. So who knows?
Diesel, does Akron still do that air show? I remember that's where I got my my Cobra shirt. They had the F-16 pilots there doing the F-16s, and those are pretty impressive.
Oh, I love the 16s.
Yep.
I see them on occasion. We got them out here in Toledo.
Nice. This little town, Akron, Colorado, it's got, I think, maybe 2,000 people, but they
I thought you meant Akron, Ohio. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. Any air show I'm up for. But it's this little town, but Vegas was doing these trips out of the planes. So all these investors put an actual full jet strip in this little town. So they get a lot of these air shows now that they can land the jets and stuff. Cool.
Once in my life, I would love to go up to Wisconsin for the EEAA show at Oshkosh.
Cool.
That'd be so cool.
Road trip?
Dalek, I don't know how to pronounce that, is talking about the A-10. Have you seen the little helicopter / jet thing they're working on for the replacement of the Warhog?
That thing is not going to get replaced anytime soon.
Yeah, well, they already tried to once.
Well, they've tried to a couple of times, but it's just too effective.
I think it was the Marines that...
It's easy to maintain. It's cheap to maintain. A lot of people know how to work on them. You can't, I'm sorry, like they wanted to try and give the close air support role to the F-35 and the F-22. It's like no.
Couldn't do it.
Nope.
Yep.
I mean, that thing can take a lot of damage. I've seen footage of one that got shot to hell over in Afghanistan, and it still made it back to base. Like, it was like falling apart in midair, and the pilot could still control it.
Well, they're basically wrapped in a titanium bathtub.
Yep.
And then the fuel tank, if it can take a bullet, and then it's a self-sealing foam.
Yep.
That automatically seals it up. That's pretty insane. That's a jet built it's basically a tank in the air.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Now, I remember when I was a kid, we took a trip down to Dayton, where Wright-Patterson Air Force Base is, and the National Air Force Museum. And when we were down there, I mean, it's an active base. They had the highway outside the base closed, whichever highway it is, I-75, I think.
Like that, yeah.
They had planes taking off from Wright-Patterson and landing on the highway. They had the road closed for a couple hours by state troopers, and they had A7s and A10s doing touch and goes on the interstate, because that's how they're training they were training doing that because that's how they train over in Europe. That was like Cold War doctrine over there. The Germans would shut down the freeways and on the Autobahn and let the planes land. Miss Miriam, bonsoir. How are you tonight?
Hi, Miriam.
What's up, man?
Do you guys remember when they did the? I think they called it the Comanche. They were trying to do a thing to replace the Apache.
Yeah.
I wonder whatever
Well, no, I
came
think
of
it
that.
was the Comanche. They built like 2 or 3 prototypes of it. It never went into production. The pilots absolutely loved it. They said it was the best fucking attack helicopter they've ever flown. But I think it got shut down for political reasons.
Yeah,
But I think there's only one, still left, and it's on an army base, like on display somewhere down in like in Georgia or something like that. It might be at Fort Rucker.
I think it's one of those things that went dark.
That's kind of what I thought, because I heard one time that if they get too much publicity, they'll say it's canceled, and then in 20 years you'll see it upgraded in some type of thing. And some of the tech off of that, I can't remember what it was from, but one of the things that talking about people involved in the Osama of the Bin Laden raid, we're talking about the attack silent running attack helicopters that they had escorted.
Right.
That makes me think that's because that's one of the big deals of that Comanche, wasn't it? Because it was a silent runner.
It was a whisper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't hear that thing flying.
It also had top of the line avionics and fire control systems. It was weird looking though. It had that rear tail that was vertical, but like the majority of the tail was like facing downwards instead of upwards.
Right, it looked like somebody bent it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't trust China. China asshole.
China asshole.
I go back to where I don't think Russia is crazy enough, even though they re-signed that pact with Iran and China. I think they know, well, then again, with our leader, here's the kicker. They say, everybody always said, oh, Trump's buddy with Putin and everything. Yet what happens right after Biden goes talks to Putin and all them? They start doing a lot of stuff.
Well, here's my reasoning with our relationship with Russia. We will never go to a physical, full-blown kinetic war with Russia because they will eventually need us to help them out if they ever get invaded by China.
Yeah.
Because don't kid yourself, the Chinese, they want Siberia.
Yeah. And China and Russia don't trust each other any more than we trust China.
They got into like little border wars back in the 60s and early 70s, like by Manchuria and shit, like full divisions were having battles.
Well, there's still 200 miles that both claim.
Yep. It's the same thing with India and Pakistan over in Kashmir.
Yeah. And Kashmir gets fucked every time.
Did you guys see that video 2 years ago where there was a border skirmish over there between the Indians and the Pakis? And they were on a glacier way up in the mountains. They got hauled in by helicopter, and they started a fight, an actual fist fight with 200 people. It was insane.
There's a cartoon one out there that has Pakistan talking trash to India, and they're going back and forth and everything. And you got Kashmir in the middle. Oh shit, here we go again. And everybody's packing their bags and moving out temporarily. You got to feel for the people in the center there. They just want to be left alone. And that's where they fight, every one of them, too.
Yeah.
Hell, there's the whole northern half of Pakistan isn't even under government control. It's all, they call it an autonomous tribal region.
Yep, the tribal areas. Isn't that where we went in to get Osama? If that was actually him?
They were looking into going in there. And I would not be surprised if some black teams actually went in there to do some, scouting around and everything. but that's about the worst place in the world that you could go as like a Western, Christian white male.
That's where we dropped all the Moabs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe that, what was it, 50 million we sent for Pakistani gender studies and the COVID relief plan. Maybe that'll help.
Hopefully.
We've almost completely exhausted our supply of Moabs. We don't have many left. We've almost completely got an echo, TBD.
TBD, you look frazzled tonight, bro.
And he's muted. You need
Well,
to
I
refresh
muted him because it's got that talkback thing going on. But yeah, there's all these things. They're not why I'm preparing. All the man-made stuff, man can fix. It's the God-made, the nature stuff. That's what I prep for.
Yeah, I'm prepping for zombies.
Yeah,
I mean it covers. If you prep for zombies, you're covering like a whole lot of ground. So
yeah, that's true.
Now, here's something. I don't know if you guys heard about this cosmic news. There's something huge, like literally the size of Ohio, that has entered our solar system. It's basically the same size as what they would consider a dwarf planet that has.
That's just my ride home.
What?
It's the Planet Smasher.
Right?
It's you'd have to listen to Devin Townsend to get that reference.
Right. Or you could say it's New Jerusalem.
It's Nibiru. Gotta be.
No.
Planet X derived.
Nibiru is actually a planet.
Oh, I know.
And it revolves around a brown dwarf. And it is the companion star to our sun, and it comes around every 3,600 years.
Feel like we're due.
Here we are. That's why the calendar ended. I'm saying all that stuff in the Codex of the Mind. They explain that this passing is so dangerous. Their Bakhtuns were based on the crossing of the companion star. So, because those were destructive periods. So every Bakhtun is about 3,600 years. Okay, the Great Calendar goes for 25,600 years. And
Right.
the reason the calendar ended, they said in there, is that there's going to be such a destructive forces happening because the
Right.
companion star is going to do its crossing.
Right.
And we are going through.
Is that about the time they predicted that the world flipped?
Well, that's because when we pass through the void, when we pass through the gravitational event horizon of the energy force in the center of our galaxy,
Right.
and we move to the other side of that event horizon, our southern poles will still be pointed at it. Only we will be going the other way on the other side.
Oh.
So the Earth will flip, and the sun will rise in the west. Literally.
Huh.
There's so much out there that we don't understand. I won't
Right,
argue
but
with
the
any
homie
of it.
knew about it.
It's going to be for the East Coast.
Yep,
Are we going to become the
I
new
agree.
West Coast? Essentially,
What?
like deserts over on the east and lush green grassy shit in the west.
No, that cataclysm, that event. You seen the naval maps of like post-cataclysmic
Yeah.
America?
Yeah. Like there's extra landmass and stuff. Yeah.
Right. We actually have the Appalachian Island chain and the Smoky Mountain Island chain. And then you have Georgia. That part of it that is the biggest piece of land is going to be like northern Georgia for the East Coast. And then the mainland of the United States will be basically from Texas to Missouri and then up to Wyoming. All the rest of it will be inland ocean, inland sea.
Wow.
Illinois is gone, most of Kentucky, Tennessee.
So Indiana's going to be
Mississippi.
underwater.
Huh?
Indiana would be underwater.
Some of it, yes, because it's going to join with the Great Lakes up in the north there.
Okay.
Some of it will be, yeah. Illinois is gone. But
Yeah.
Yay! No more Chicago.
right. No more Chicago. No more Mississippi, Louisiana. Those are all gone. Half of Alabama. See you later.
I'm still pissed they took away Pluto's planet status.
No,
they
guys.
got reinstated. It did
But like
get
I said,
reinstated.
post-apocalyptic, I'm sitting on oceanfront property here, bro.
Yeah. My place here will be underwater because I'm only like 8 miles away from Lake Erie. So
Yeah, but you won't be there no more.
yeah, I don't care.
I'll be in a tropical rainforest. I'll be up high enough, won't be oceanfront, but
Right.
it'll be subtropical.
Well,
Yeah, they're
shit,
estimating from
you're
what
gonna
I've
have
heard.
property.
From what
Yeah,
I've heard,
mountains, bro. You're gonna have beachfront property.
yeah. So, well, from what I've heard, that the place where they expect the poles to balance again, it's going to be like Sweden, Finland, up in that area.
Yeah.
So,
The Dutch are so screwed. Hey,
Right?
I doubt they could.
Well, I better
I
get
doubt
to
they can
Finland
build a
before it
100-foot
goes. I've
tall-
always wanted to see Finland.
what were you saying, Singularity?
Don't get me wrong. I don't, but I don't want anything to happen to them. But I doubt they're going to build any berms. 150 foot tall.
Well, they'll be under 3 miles of ice. So, yeah,
Well,
there is
and that's
that.
it. Yeah, and that's just it with this global and since we're actually getting worse winters, they can't call it global warming, so now it's climate change. It's but with all that, people forget that the Earth goes through cycles. At best, we might be speeding one of them up a little bit, but actually, it's really a moot point because of the amount of carbon that we put in as opposed to the amount of carbon that should be put in, because we've actually seen less volcanic eruptions. We've seen less natural disasters like that. So we actually have less carbon in the air. And if you listen to a lot of these farm scientists and agricultural scientists, they say we actually need more carbon in the air because we're losing farm ground because we don't have that carbon coming back to us. So
Right.
What's up,
it
AZ?
all depends which ones you listen to. And I don't know, a lot of those agricultural scientists, they seem to have a lot better of an argument.
Yeah, that's true. What's up, AZ? But that's what I'm talking about, though. The natural shit we're going to be experiencing, the volcanic activity, the great earthquakes, all of these things foretold in prophecy, in the Bible, in Revelation. Those things, they are coming. And it talks about, the age of Aquarius and the coming of the water bearer and all that jazz. So, yeah.
Think about this. It got in Siberia yesterday. It got up to 118 degrees Fahrenheit.
Where?
Siberia.
Oh yeah, that does
Siberia?
happen. Yeah,
That's
Siberia
crazy.
does have a short summer season, and it can get pretty hot up there, just like in northern Canada. Where I worked, we had some days that in July where it was like 110 degrees.
Oh wow.
Are they higher elevation in that area of Siberia?
No, not where I was at, but I'm just saying where I was at in Canada, it used to get pretty damn hot. Now, I was about level longitudinally with Upper Peninsula of Michigan, but yeah,
Oh,
Siberia is a lot further north. But they are known that it's been recorded, for over 100 years that they occasionally do get the real warm spells.
Well, see, and that's what people are always so amazed that Colorado during, in the plains here, especially during July and August, we can hit 110 plus degree days. And everybody say, and that's been that way since I was a kid. It's just that we're at such a high elevation with thinner atmosphere. It gets hot at that
Right.
time of year.
Yep.
So, and it holds that heat. I mean, our nights during that time are 90 degrees. So it's a regular thing. And people also forget that we're actually coming up on a solar minimum.
right.
And we're seeing less sunspots, and that solar minimum could cause another mini ice age. So,
But given the atmosphere of the space that we're in and where we're going and where we're moving through, that's not going to happen. Now we're seeing all these effects happen on all the other planets in our solar system too. It's not just happening to Earth.
which moon? I think it's the moon of Venus, the one that has the. It looks like. Does somebody have a cricket?
The tree frog over at Wiz's.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
me and my
Oh,
frog.
yeah. The tree frogs are awesome out there.
It's a full moon. What do you think they're all horny and shit for?
Oh,
There's
that's
one that-
why my throat's doing that shit. I'm turning into a damn gay frog.
What moon of? I think it's a moon of Venus has the ice geysers. They're like basically like
Shoot, Titan.
it might
No, it's Jupiter.
Titan's
That's Jupiter.
rock, right?
Venus doesn't have any moons.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Mars
ice
has
giant-
two small little moons, but yeah, Jupiter and Saturn have the most.
It'd have to be Jupiter, then one of the two moons of Jupiter.
I-
But it's
I
like
know
basically an
that,
ice planet.
Well, Titan is around Saturn.
Two different ones, Io and what's the other one that's all ice? Fuck.
Europa.
Yes,
Europa. Yeah.
That's
That
the
one,
with the
there's-
ice geysers.
they're seeing significant warming on it through their scans of it too, because of the advanced solar flares that always come just before solar minimum too. So,
Right.
I mean, what we're seeing with some warming in some areas and then extreme cooling in other areas, it a lot of that's regulated by sun activity, by solar
Right.
activity.
But what happens during a solar minimum is that the frequency of the sun, the temperature of the sun becomes much hotter because those flares allowed it to lose heat. They were
Yeah.
ejecting heat.
Yeah.
Right.
And without the sunspots to give dark spots on the sun, that's now all projecting heat. It's keeping the heat in the surface of the sun, and it is becoming hotter. That's why it's white
So,
rather than yellow.
So it's when it comes out of that they talk about the mini ice age. Because what was it? Was it the 15 or 1600s where they had the Great Potato Famine? Basically, they had the mini ice age. People starved and everything. That was a solar minimum
Right.
and everything. So it's kind of amazing how that works. The sun could be producing more heat, but the planet's actually cool in areas. It's pretty interesting how a lot of that science works.
Well, I
To be honest, I don't think in today's technologically, sound environment necessarily, I don't think an ice age would actually do much. I mean, yeah, we'd have to adapt, but we know how to build greenhouses. We know about LED full spectrum technology. We can grow whatever we want without the sun.
Technology and science went out the window with political correctness, in my opinion. We can't trust any of that right now because it's just political.
Well, yeah.
That it worries me, but yeah.
Now, if they were allowing us the technology to be common to turn water into hydrogen and hydrogen into energy,
Right.
Yeah. Stuff like that, or they would release the Tesla technology and allow us to pull from the ether. Now, then you would be talking about possibilities.
SoCal, they were getting the money from the government to study nuclear fusion. They were on the brink of cracking it, and then all of a sudden the government in 2012 pulled all the funding. So either A, they got too close and they didn't want them to have it, or B, they found it and kept it for strictly military use or whatever.
Right. Well, look what they did to Stanley Meyer, the man that actually made a car run on water.
Did they kill him? Some of them they killed.
They killed him.
Yep.
This was back in the early 80s, in the mid 80s. He drove the car coast to coast, did it on news shows, all that stuff. And turn around and shortly after a meeting with the Pentagon, he died of a supposed heart attack. He was poisoned.
I remember growing up, there was
heart attack my ass.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I remember growing up, there was always a rumor about some guy in the 70s that, and everybody, it was a conspiracy theory, this and that he developed a carburetor that got 100 miles to the gallon.
Yep.
And then in the late 90s, there was actually proof popping up of patent numbers and patents that had to deal with it.
Yeah, those guys were in Illinois, and they developed the carburetor. That there was two guys. They developed that carburetor, and they would produce an engine that would they put it on an engine and it would get 100 miles to the gallon.
That was that one where they could literally siphon the fumes off a gallon of gas, right?
Well, yes, it had to do with that.
Running.
Now, Pantone did the same thing. He took that same fuel process. They put him in a psych ward and shut him down.
Yeah, they did. Man, the government. This is the reason why we can't have anything fucking fun.
It's big business. It's always been oil. It's been anything that could damage the millionaires' pocketbooks.
Right,
or
the energy that would release the people from their slavery of energy.
Yep.
But that's pretty cool. I've always wanted to try a shepherd's thing. I hear those things are like deadly accurate.
Well, most hated. It's good to know that you're still on crack.
I found my new favorite Fago, Rock and Rye. Whoop, whoop. Oh. Like, I feel like there's something caught in my throat, is what it is.
I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, Cynthia Pelosi is running for her life because her whole game falls apart with that right there. Everybody knows that it wasn't an insurrection, that it was a manipulated management situation, and it was managed by them. That's why they don't want it. They can't have anybody else be in control of that investigation because that's what they do.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Answer your
TBD.
damn phone, Apex.
That's not me. That's TBD.
That's
Oh.
TBD.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was, but yeah.
So, but yeah, these things are they're out there and they are for real. And these people are scared to death of these forensic audits. They know their game is up. they're going to be exposed. So they've got to throw out everything they can. They got to throw up all the bells and whistles and pull out all the stops. You know?
Well, and look at it this way. They need something big like Russia messing with us, China messing with us. They need a distraction. That's what worries me.
Well, right. So,
I mean, deep down, they all know they couldn't touch us militarily, but they could definitely screw things up for us pretty good.
well, right. You know, and it's going to be. All right. Yeah, that's coming from you, TBD. We're hearing a phone ring. Yeah. But anyway, right. Keep the eye on the ball, Carpenter. Exactly. Don't let him.
Okay. So,
Hey, either answer your phone or turn it off, man.
no, it's
Something.
not me.
It's coming from you. It's not coming from anybody else on the screen.
Yeah, that's definitely coming from you, bro.
No.
Yeah.
I have my
That's
phone.
why we muted you.
No, I have my phone cut off right now.
It's coming from the computer, then, bro.
Huh.
Something's
Possibly.
happening because you're making noises.
All right, so maybe I should just leave.
Well, sorry. Didn't mean for you just to leave, but I'm just saying it was, yeah.
When
But
the
anyway.
hell did our group get so thin-skinned?
I know, right?
I mean, I mean, I get, sticking up for somebody. I get carried away at that sometimes. But I don't care what y'all say about me. You can call me whatever you want to. It's fine.
Well, I mean, it wasn't like we weren't trying to pick on.
Really eating. No, I'm just gonna stop.
You're probably right on most of it.
Right. We weren't trying to pick on him or anything. It's just
Yeah.
It legit
hell of a
sounded there was like a jingle, like a tone or something.
a
going
ringtone.
on in the
Yeah.
back. I don't know how he didn't hear it.
See,
are
I
you talking
screw
about
with-
Aaron?
No, TBD.
Oh,
It's like there's a cell phone going off, or his computer was making some sort of like jingle sound, like a cell phone jingle or something, because it was just loud. I hate talking. I'm gonna go back to being quiet.
Apex, I've had my voice messed up for about 6 months now. It's been
Dude,
raspy like this.
Sucks.
Yeah.
yeah. I just tried calling Aaron to wake him up because he's sleeping on stream again. He slept right through.
wow.
He slept right through the world's loudest ringtone. Like it would wake the dead, but he's just like, nope, I'm sleeping.
Right.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, just let him stream. He'll get followers. Someone just needs to change the stream tile to come sleep with Aaron.
No, he needs to give me editor status so I can shut his stream down for him.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
Because he's only got
Doesn't Deb
he's
have
only-
editor status?
who?
Deb?
Yeah, Deb and Don Martino, I think.
Oh, okay.
But Deb went to bed hours ago.
Oh.
And that's why I told Aaron, I'm like, make me an editor, because I'm up late and I can shut you down if I need to. And he's like,
Hey,
well, I
Carp.
don't have.
Hey, Mark.
He can only. So he's got to do that through the laptop. Well, he's got a laptop now, so I'm going to start bugging him about it again.
Right. All right, I'm gonna go back to being silent and stuff.
All right.
Honestly, I was just gonna pop in and say hey and like take the night off from the stream because of my voice, but because I'm straining really hard just to even talk.
Well, dude. Don't push yourself. With the party coming up and everything. Go to bed and get some sleep.
Yeah.
Let yourself heal up.
I'm just gonna turn in early.
Drink a glass of water and then gargle, some salt water. Here you go.
I've got to try to plan for hopefully August to try to make a trip out there with that hammer mill.
You've got
Right.
You've got a hammer mill?
Yeah.
I would say a power hammer for blacksmithing.
It's a 1908 Blackhawk.
It's not the kind of hammer mill I'm thinking of. Okay.
It's power hammer is what it is.
Power hammer, yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking like a rock crushing hammer mill.
Oh no.
We're pounding out metal and shaping blades and shit. I would love to have one day, but they're so damn expensive.
I'll warn you, this Blackhawk scares the shit out of me.
Oh, bro! Fuck crushing a hand, bro. You can crush an arm.
Yeah, and it's got a probably about a 4.5 foot arm on it that slams down on the anvil.
Oh god, dude, yeah. All you'd have to do is like lean in, and that thing would put a hole through your body.
And those old timers, they ran it. I mean, a lot of them didn't even use tongs. They'd just grab the cool end of the metal and hold it in there.
Yep, that's the way to do it. Hell, that's why my hands are so calloused up. I don't use tongs for the most part. Unless it's something small.
And see, I've got some of the stuff doing horseshoes and stuff, but I don't have anything for doing knives. I've just got the one bit that goes in the wedges in the anvil for horseshoes and whatnot.
Oh man. Yeah, I would definitely try to find some other dyes for it.
Yeah. Well, I want to get it down to emerald because with what he's doing with a lot of the veterans,
right?
I think that'd be cool. Get a lot of them building knives and stuff like that. And it's got that forge assembly. It's just you got to pour the forge around it. It's a cement forge, and this is just the plumbing.
Right.
So it's got the bellows included in with it.
Yeah, it's got a fan that turned also, and it's a big fan. It
so
blows seriously. Like
so nice.
The tub it was in was about a 4.5 foot diameter belly in the concrete they poured.
Oh, wow.
And it's enough of a fan to blow coal on all that. So
nice.
Oh wow.
It ran off the tractor wheel too, because it's got that big pulley that fabric belt went around that they used to, those old John Deere, well, not just John Deere, those old tractors that had that hub on the side.
Yep.
Yep. It ran off one of those.
Diesels.
Yep. This all ran off of one of those. It's all still set up. It's got those big pulleys and everything on it like that.
Wow. So, yeah, I was looking for quite a while for one of those 1-cylinder diesels. Those things are insane.
If you could get one, heck, you wouldn't even have to transfer this over. You could just hook it up to
right.
it. You wouldn't have to worry about funding the motor or anything for it.
I will talk to you tomorrow.
Oh, you taking off?
Yeah, I'm gonna rest my voice.
All right, and I'll see you tomorrow. Dream well, Patriot.
Yeah, take it easy,
Take
brother.
care.
Have a good night, everyone.
Get better.
I'm gonna try. Hey, I can't have this voice if I'm gonna be singing around a campfire.
Look at it this way. Puberty had to come sooner or later. So
See, I can't even laugh. What the hell? No.
Rock on.
I love you
All right.
all, but fuck you all. All right,
Your ass
I'm
to bed.
out. Dude,
Talk to you tomorrow.
night, guys.
Good night. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, though, guys. I mean, all the stuff that man goes through, man can fix. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's the stuff that it's the shit that really scares me is the shit that we could do nothing about.
Yep. And like I'm religious. I usually don't get preachy or anything. I just kind of, say things like, and I truly believe this, that, look for God. He's always there. He knows where you're at, but you need to locate him within yourself, and you find
Right.
him. He can help you solve any problem.
Right. Well, now, and I say this with tongue in cheek, we now know how the zombie apocalypse comes about.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't want zombies. I mean, I can handle almost anything, but really, I just don't want zombies.
Really?
That'd be
If
just
they're The Walking Dead, I'm good. If they're Z Nation, I don't know.
Yeah, Z Nation, the ones where they ran fast and crap.
Right.
Hell with that. Yeah. The Walking Dead. Okay, yeah, that I can handle. Z Nation, where they're some of them are smart too, to where they're like hunting you. Yeah, I don't like that idea.
No, that was fucked up. So
Yep. Huh. There, I thought I was the only one that liked those Sci-Fi Channel originals.
I had a girlfriend that was just absolutely into zombies. And so we binge watch them. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I liked The Walking Dead. I had a cousin that got me into it. It was pretty cool to watch for a while. And then they started just killing off the main characters willy-nilly. It's like, it's not as much fun anymore.
Yeah, I only got like into 3 seasons of The Walking Dead, and it got too strange.
Yeah.
But I did. Did you watch Fear the Walking Dead, the spinoff? That was actually pretty good.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah. It took place. It started in California. It gives you a different perspective of how it all started, and it follows a family who escapes, South California, and joins up with a couple of different groups of people, and they make their way down to Mexico. And yeah, it's pretty fucked up. I thought it was better than the original series.
Did they end up on a boat?
At one point, yeah, they were on a big ass
I remember that
$1
one.
million yacht. Yeah.
I watched that one.
I haven't finished the series. I got in season 4 or 5, I think. Still haven't finished it.
Yeah, like I said, I had a girlfriend that was into the zombie stuff, and we had to watch all the zombie stuff. But she get all excited about it. And I was happy about that. So I watched zombie stuff.
Gaelic, you're talking about when Jerusalem fell, and it's not all nations conquering. That's actually specifically in the Old and New Testament. That's specifically when Jerusalem, when the leaders started falling away from God, he actually allowed them to fall and be enslaved in parts to the east and the north. So,
Yep, Cynthia, exactly. Watch the audits, because their heads are going to explode when the evidence comes out.
Yeah, I guess Mike Lindell was saying the other day, same thing. He's like, you guys are not going to believe what's going to come out with these audits.
Oh, yeah. Because it's not just the presidential election.
Nope.
It's not just the big race.
Every
It's also-
level,
Yep.
city, county, state, you name it.
And it all boils around the machine, the Dominion machine. Because every one of those bastards that won fraudulently, that utilized the Dominion features, are the ones that are scared. And they are, yeah. They have
Cynthia.
interest in the company.
Sorry about that.
No, they have interest. They have investment and interest in the company itself.
Oh, a lot of
That's
the politicians. Yeah.
Yes, that's why that's why they have the interest in the company. Okay, that was how they fundraised. That's how they paid for their election to be manipulated.
All right, Colonel Shaw, you have a good night, brother. Or
Have a good day at work.
Drink your coffee and get her done.
Take charge of that day, Colonel. God bless you.
I hope something comes of it. I hope people finally start getting charged for what they, for the bad things they've done. I hope it all comes out, and that's all I'm hoping, that finally, get some of the indictments and stuff for people that have screwed us.
Yeah, Carpenter was saying that it's just as big an issue as the presidency is the down ballot, if not bigger. Yeah, because half of those bastards, like Pelosi, Maxine Waters, Swallowswell, they're all on the tape. They're all in the office because of their ownership or their participation in Dominion.
Yeah, you want to look at down ballot? Look at Colorado. Everything in Colorado. And where is the Dominion headquarters in the United States? It's in Denver.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like their heads are going to explode. But there is precedent for, at maybe not at the presidential level, but there are precedents for people fraudulent election and being removed from office and replaced with the person who appropriately won.
Yeah.
So there's that it's not precedent is bullshit. Yep. They use those retarded machines. You bet.
Definitely, Miriam. The whole Front Range is getting that way. And we lost Colorado when Colorado Springs started going blue.
Right. So we get rid of the machines and, they lose their big tool.
Yeah.
Voter ID, get rid of the machines, and they lose all their leverage.
Voter ID is a biggie. Colorado just passed something that has to do with, as long as you can verify you're a resident, you don't have to be legal. You just got to be a resident of Colorado to vote now for local. It's right. They can't do it for federal, but they can do it for governor and all that. And I mean, they just bring in tons of them. I mean, there's video on YouTube of a bunch of these illegal immigrants coming up from Mexico now. They're being flown all around. They're coming into DIA. They're flying just plane loads of them into DIA.
Right.
And you got to feel bad for them too, because then they're just dumped.
Yeah.
They don't know anybody around here. It's a mess.
Yeah, but they're given money. They're given
Yeah.
instructions and where to report, stuff like that, and where to get more money.
And the most frustrating part is we've got homeless veterans, for fuck's sake. Homeless veterans, people that risk their lives for our freedoms. And
Yeah.
then somebody comes into the country illegally, they get housing, food, automotive assistance. I mean, and automotive, I mean, come on. They get
Right.
a kickback for a car payment, for crying out loud. It's
Right. They get, was it TAMF and all that other shit, and
Mhm.
food
And they
stamps and Section 8, all
Yep.
that shit.
And in some of the welfare packages now, at least here, there's a transportation thing that they give them a few $100s a month for that.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, when they come here, a lot of them are making, $1,200 to $1,800 a month, if you consider everything put in together.
Well, and then they don't have rent.
Yep. And if they do, it's paid for through that check.
Well, yeah. It's called Section 8, government housing
Yeah.
allowance. It's just sick, but they won't let the veterans have it.
Yeah, that's wrong.
They won't let the veterans mess with that. They don't give a shit.
You know that really pisses me off with that situation? You got all these closed Army and Air Force and Navy bases that were shut down during all the BRAC hearings in the 80s and the 90s and up until now, and those bases still have all the base housing on them, and
Take care, Tim.
they end up selling it all to the local governments, and they're using them for subdivisions and shit. All that shit should go to the fucking vets.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim.
I mean, it's not that much. They're not that big, overall, but it would certainly help.
Oh,
Beats the hell
man.
out of being homeless.
Right.
I mean, there's a big area up by Sydney, Nebraska, where there's all these domes. They call them igloos, and they're all storage units and stuff like that. The government, when they moved out, and there's facilities and housing facilities, they just basically turned it over to a local farmer that owned the land around.
Yeah, it was probably a weapons storage area for an Army ammunition plant.
Yeah, yep, it was. And still the housing and a few of the big buildings are there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are scattered all over the country. I got one about 40 miles away from me.
Nice.
It's
But
real
yeah,
good deer
having them-
hunting.
Right. But having them turned back over to that, and utilizing to do that kind of stuff, that would be. Right. They're not letting the vets touch any of it.
I've been drunk there many a times when I was younger, Carp.
Well, that's where Cabela's was from.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
you want to talk about destroying a town when they allowed the Bass Pro and Cabela's to merge?
Yeah.
That destroyed Sydney.
I'm surprised that was able to pass antitrust,
Shouldn't have been.
confirmation. Yeah.
That's just it. We've got antitrust and monopolization laws on the books. They're just not enforced.
Yep.
And both sides, whether it be the Democrats or the rhinos, both sides don't care as long as they get their, they'll vote for it as long as they get their contributions.
Right. That. Oh.
Yep. Well, you take Hickenlooper here in Colorado. The guy was literally brought up on corruption charges. The only reason he didn't get nailed is because the Democrats owned more, or had more seats, and he just didn't show up to court and everything. So he runs against Corey Gardner. Corey Gardner is just a normal guy. He's a good guy. He's a smart guy. And he actually lives just a few houses down from my sister. Not rich, got a nice house, but not, overly wealthy or anything. What does Colorado do? They elect Hickenlooper to take his place in the Senate. It's just how can you take a decent person, kick him out, and vote in somebody that literally had corruption charges against him? Is my mic not working, or am I just getting boring?
You're good. 1 minute warning. Hamilton, Ontario. That was the most fucked up city I've ever been to anywhere in my entire life. Sorry if that's where you're from, crazy Canadian, but that was one bizarre fucking town.
Yeah, right, Carp.
Carp taking off?
No, I'm going to be taking off in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was just agreeing with Carpenter.
Oh, okay. Hey, Carpenter, come on up, man. Come on up.
Here's the link.
I think Miriam still owes us all going long.
Cynthia, we are. And you know what? All we have to do is not believe their shit, not participate in their game.
And speak out.
Yep, speak out and wake up everybody else. That's all we got to do.
Hey, what's up, Dallas?
Hey, Dallas. Too many people want to run out and start firing, They want to do that, and that's exactly what the people we're against want us to do. They want us to go out there to where they have a reason to take away more rights and to take this away. And that's the last thing we can do, in my opinion.
Well, look what happened on January 6th. 1.5 million kids turned around and walked away. They didn't get their big upright.
Yeah, Carpenter got a free deck today.
What's that?
Carpenter Patriot somehow got a free wooden deck.
Oh,
something like a 15 by 20 foot deck.
Nice.
He said he's gonna put in his deer camp.
Nice.
Howdy, brother.
Hey, Garp.
Hey, well, a buddy called today and he had a house fire, and he's a cement contractor, and he's got a 12 by 20 deck. It runs, 90 degrees. The deck boards run 90 degrees off the house. So there's like 40 deck boards that are all 12 foot. That's the green treated. What are they, inch and 3/8? You know what I'm talking about, inch and a quarter, them regular deck boards. Yep. Okay, the framing underneath is all 2 by 10 green treated. It's held up, it's cantilevered out. It runs out 12 feet. It's cantilevered out at 10 feet. The last 2 feet's cantilevered off 4 by 4 6x6s, 10 feet long. And it's all bolted together with lag bolts and carriage bolts and 3-inch screws that are, the number 2 square heads, so they're easy to get out.
Right.
Well, they had a fire just inside the kitchen. Well, the kitchen window looks out over the one half of the deck, and the fire actually burnt through the house and actually started burning outside the house. They can't live in the house.
Man.
Well,
Total loss.
it just scorched the first little bit of boards right there by the patio door. But there's a bunch of water damage. And this guy's like a meticulous person and everything's like pristine on his whole property. So he just called today and said that he couldn't believe they were doing it. That the insurance company came out and gave him the estimate on the fire. It was a kitchen fire. And it actually, the kitchen burned through the wall. The water damage went down into the basement. Underneath there is a big sliding glass door that has a concrete deck underneath it. And all that got hurt with water damage, and it's all clad cased. It's all plastic. So it's not, like he said, when we went downstairs, the sheetrock's all fucked up, of course, because of water damage. He said, I understand that, but he said that sliding glass door looked perfectly good to me. So when this insurance guy was writing this shit up, he's just like, holy, I mean, he knew he had framing on the outside walls to redo that kitchen wall. He knew that. And the siding out there. But like the deck, he said, I was thinking like taking up 2 boards and maybe putting down 3 or 4 boards, because it just barely burnt out onto the stringer, the header on the outside, just barely. And he goes, but they fucking can't, the whole deck, and the deck's got 2 4-foot stairwells that run down on each side. It's a second level deck. And I don't know, Sing, maybe you know better than I do, but the stringers on there, they're 3 stringers because it's 4 feet wide for the steps. Mm-hmm. I don't know what length stringer it takes to drop 11 feet, but them got to be 16 footers, right?
Yeah. What is it? Is it a 10, 12? Or
yeah,
12?
Well, it's just the steps. So I don't know what the standard is. I can't off the top of my head. See, I'm trying to, I've walked out there. I've been there. I mean, I've seen it.
I know there's a equation for it.
Yeah, and I don't know what that is. So they're either like 16 or 14 or 18. I don't know foot that you have to go to get the angle going back up. But it's also got rail all the way around it. So there's 100 and just off the top of my head, I put together like 120 feet of railing and spindle. And now this is all fucking nice stuff. It's only the whole deck's 6 years old.
2x10 for 12-foot span. That's serious overbuilding. That's a guy after my own heart. I like that. Mm-hmm. You can park a car on that. That's what this
guy's like. Oh, and tomorrow, if we can get it torn down by noon tomorrow, he's doing concrete work out in the front. He's got his crew there in the front of his house working tomorrow. And he said, if you can get it torn down, we don't even have to carry it up from the backyard. He goes, I'll just have the guys run down and they can haul the shit up and put it on the car trailer for you.
Nice.
And then we get the screen door or the sliding glass door on the second. It's a walkout basement. So we get the sliding glass door on the bottom and there's nothing wrong with it. Well, we were going to, tear everything apart and we were getting plywood together to, button the hole up. And he called and told the guy, this, I'd say his name, Darren, called his contractor and mentioned about that. We wanted to save that down there. Can the guys take that out tomorrow? And he says, don't bother with it. We'll take it out when we do the demo and we'll just put it aside for them. So they don't even have to bother with it. So we got a sliding glass door. I got all that decking. It's not going to go back anything like what it looks like. Like Aaron said, take it apart and it's not that kind and number it. Well, it's not that kind of a deal. It's more, when I look at anything like that, I look at lineal footage and square footage. I'm a carpenter.
Right.
Because it won't go back the way I won't rebuild that. I'm putting a deck on the east side of the shack, and then on the west side I'm putting the sliding glass door and then the deck out there, and I should still have enough left to put a small porch coming off of a camper trailer that Dave bought.
Oh wow.
Camp. Yeah. Plus I got a bunch of that shit. I got a bunch of that shit laying around out there too.
Right.
So I don't know what that lumber cost you guys, $1,500, and that might be way low. I don't know. It's all green treated.
Well, when you set those posts, set it up so that you can build a roof over the deck.
Well, I don't know what we're gonna, I can, but I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm just gonna get it and store it and put it away and then look at what I have to see what I can build. Because that's kind of how that whole, everybody thinks my shack is, that's how my whole shack's been built, is off secondhand, fire, burn, water damage, leftovers, remodels. It's all secondhand shit.
That's
Right.
what I love about people with more money than brains, especially in the Front Range here. They'll replace their kitchen cabinets like yearly, and you could get high dollar kitchen cabinets that haven't even been used because they rarely use their kitchens for 10% of the original cost.
Right.
Yeah,
They
I've
walk in, it's a room for their microwave.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
worked on them
yeah.
jobs like that where they change the kitchen cabinets, like we would change the color of the walls.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in places like, oh well, we had black walnut, but that was too dark, so we're gonna go with a cedar or a pine or an oak, and it's like, holy shit,
Yeah. And a lot of them are like, do you know somebody that we could pay to haul these off? It's like, pay to haul them off? Shit, I'll take them for free right
you ever
now.
put them? You go out in their garage and here's this fucking just beautiful set of cupboards, and it's like, what are you doing with that? Well, I so and so's coming. I got a dumpster coming. A dumpster.
Yeah.
You're throwing
I love
away
that.
mahogany.
I don't know. As a carpenter, you'd think you'd like always building with new, but I love repurposed shit. Throwing away
I know
stuff.
it.
I don't know. There's something about it.
Well, I build all kinds of shit out of these pallets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I see your stacks of crap. All I do is see lineal feet in school. Don Bayer was showing the video where he used to live out wherever he used to live when Aaron was there.
Right.
And he had this fucking barn falling down, this great big shed barn falling down. I looked at that thing and I thought, man, you could build a hell of a nice garage out of that.
Yep.
Put a slab up and then repurpose, just go over there and pull that thing all apart,
I think that's a sign of a true carpenter, somebody that can see possibilities in wood that, other people would be, I'll just go to Home Depot and buy new. It's like,
Oh, no. That's
Yeah.
no fun. That's no fun.
Exactly.
That's like a math problem then.
yeah,
Yeah.
you see something and you can already envision what it's going to look like after you get it taken down and put back together.
That you say that's what it does. What it is for me. I get on a project, I look at it, and I start measuring, and it's like as soon as the picture hits my head, I can build that fucker. But I can't do it until I can picture it in my head. I've got to have that picture in my head. But once that picture's in my head, get the fuck out of the way and stay away from the soft.
Right. Right.
I've even got a card in my wallet right now that's an architectural salvage yard. It's called My Uncle Benny's here in Colorado. And yeah, I like reuse. Why buy it new if you can get something a lot cheaper? Plus, you're going to save it from landfill. And to me, it's,
most of that stuff, that old stuff is built so.
Yep.
It's unreal how it's built.
When we
You look
end
at
up
all that-
selling my place, that's what we're doing. The house and the barns.
Yeah.
Yep. Deconstruct it, sell it. I got there's Amish crews around here that'll do that. Especially the barns.
Old Barnwood, I don't know about there, but Old Barnwood here, people go insane over it.
Yep, there is a big market for it.
Same here. That stuff's crazy, especially if you get into the, the old, if it's all like, I don't know what you call it when it's patinaed,
Yep.
They're looking for a patina on it or whatever they call that.
Yep. They want that age on it.
Yeah, you can get a ton of square footage out of a barn wall, and it kind of all looks the same. It's stained this, and then a lot of times they'll just spray it with a clear to keep it that way.
Yep.
For inside the house use. Most of them here, they pull the barn apart, they pressure wash them, seal them, and sell it, and it goes for big money.
Oh yeah, they'll pay the price of hardwood flooring for it. It's insane what they pay for it. And there's $1 million houses up in Vail and stuff like that. You go into their kitchen and the walls are just coated with barnwood.
Yep. That's insane.
Yep.
But I love working with that. I don't know why I love working with all that stuff.
I think it's more of a challenge. And I think that's it. That after so many years, cutting boards, putting together, okay, you get a challenge with it.
Yeah, there's something about cutting the straps on a bunk. I don't care whether it's plywood 2x6s, I don't care what it is. That just doesn't really excite me anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
When you order it and they drop it off and they set it down with a forklift and you go over there and snap them bands, it's like that. That doesn't even excite me anymore like it used to,
Right.
Around here, there's a lot of old houses that these farmers will build a new house and they'll bulldoze it into a hole and burn it. And I'm sitting there looking at it. It's like, why not have somebody come in here and move it? There are so many people, that would pay, the money to have it moved, or they would disassemble it and everything. Perfectly good house. And it was built, 100 years ago. So, that lumber is sound lumber. It's not this cheap, airy crap we got now. Yeah. It baffles me. People are wasteful.
Yeah, now my grandfather and his two brothers built both of the barns at my place. And they're solid as fuck. The framing, like some of the timbers are like 8x8, 10x10. They're massive.
Well, that old lumber, they didn't kiln it. Most of it was just air dried, so there was still a lot of sap in that. So when they sunk a nail, no kidding, those boards bonded with that nail.
Yep.
And like if you try to drive a nail into it, your arm will go numb before you get a nail driven into it. And if you try to use an air nailer, it'll either A, curl that nail back around, or B, it'll knock out a side of it. We always, with that older wood, we always pre-drill it and screw it.
Right. Yeah.
I built my fence out of, there's a company close to here. They sell agricultural products and assemble them and everything. And I mean, some of them come in on 12-foot long and 8-foot wide, 2x6, everything's 2x6 pallets. And there's a stack of them and they're wanting them hauled off. And I hauled them off. I got them for free. And I built my fence out of it.
Yeah, but I've been built like RJ's cabin. We built that out of it. All my chicken coop stuff, all my mill, all that stuff's been built out of those pallets. That hardwood, that oak hardwood.
Yeah, and that's another thing people don't understand. Those pallets have some nice wood in them.
Yeah, yeah. All my coolers, swing benches, picnic tables, all that stuff, man.
Yep. Well, and heck, with a router table and a good tongue and groove bit set for that router, a router table and a table saw, you can make tongue and groove flooring with it. Real easy. And a planer, because a lot of them are a little bit off. But
right. Yeah, it's the warp, but I know how to, but I deal with some of this warp. I bind the boards together and let them sit for a couple of days, get hot 20-degree changes over the course of those 4 to 7 days. And generally, then you spin them and do it again. And, you'll have them straightened out enough to use. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, I got to learn. Oh, sorry.
No, the rest of it can be taken out when you go to do the dolmens in between in between it. If you use them for framing, you can force them to square. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yep. With a ratchet strap, and then you bolt the damn thing to the next one,
So basically, like when you're trying to get a bend in a board to get it to curve around a window or something, just put it around a barrel or something and just keep, a click a day or so to get it to bend around.
You wait it, you wet it. Okay? You wait it and you wet it. And then turn around and let it change more than 20 degrees up and down about 7 times, and that board will change. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Cynthia, God is great. I agree.
A vacuum seal.
Yeah, I got somewhere years ago, I downloaded plans for a vacuum kiln, for doing fast curing of small pieces of wood. Like mostly people were using them for guitar pieces.
Oh wow. Okay.
And it basically you scrapped out an old refrigerator or freezer chest and installed a vacuum system in it. Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Wow.
See, I've got to learn a lot of that. I built the sawmill and then realized I don't know a thing about cutting wood.
Right. I know. Well, you got to let those trees hang out for about 6 months before you even try.
Somebody else told me that paint the ends, I guess, and let them set, let a log set for a while.
Yep. You got
All right, Cynthia, have a good one.
About 4 to 6 months, because if you cut it apart when it's raw, when it dries, it's gonna split out, crack up, and it'll be junk.
Yep. Is the paint to keep the moisture in so the ends don't split then? Is that what that's all about?
I'm not sure because I don't paint the ends on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Maybe it'll stop it from going so fast and stop it from heart cracking.
Okay.
But most of the time, you're going to get a heart crack. So maybe it has something to do with that.
And see, the guy I talked to, he deals with pine out at Front Range too, so it might be different.
Yeah, pine is soft wood, so lots of water. Yeah. But yeah, I'm loving it, man. I just wish I had another 3 of me. You know what I'm saying? If I had 3 more of me, we could all this shit would be getting done. Fast.
I fully understand what you mean.
So
sometimes I think cloning wouldn't be a bad idea if I could have one more person.
Right. Just a second set of hands.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, it's like I wear out people.
Yeah. One of my rules in construction was just as long as you could keep up with me, I'm happy. And apparently I was an asshole. People didn't like working for me. So.
Right. Well, Ben Frank came out here, right?
Yep.
And he came out here he was going to come out for 10 days.
Yeah.
And he was bringing out his chainsaws. We were going to take down trees, set up a bunch of firewood.
Then he got sick.
Well, he was doing okay, but he was taking 5-hour energy to keep up with me.
Oh.
And turn around and after about the 4th day, we were doing trees. And we had cut up about 3 cords worth of split down stacked wood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
3 full cords. And we were getting a lot of shit done. And he got sick and everything and left. But when he got back, he's like, that fucking Emerald's a fucking beast. I was like, what do you mean? But he went on for that. We went on about that every time we talk about it,
Welcome to the country. That's just how it is.
I was like, I didn't realize I was burning him out that hard. He was out here on vacation,
Yeah, that's about the kind of work style that I was doing when I was working up in Canada. Sun up to sundown.
Yep.
Right.
Well,
I can work all day long outside if I pace myself.
Right.
I can't go hog wild like I used to with a chainsaw when I was 20, but yeah, I can still put in a decent day's work.
Oh, hell yeah.
You 3 that are up here know what I mean, because you all live in the country. If you don't do it in the country yourself, you can't just walk over to the store and get what you need. It's not that simple. So, well, growing up anyways, now it's a little different. You could just have it delivered, but growing up, and that's kind of how I became somewhat of a jack of all trades, master of none, because we didn't have the money to replace everything. We had to fix it. So,
Right.
yeah.
That's how it was like for my dad when he was growing up on the farm. He learned everything.
Yep.
Well, Miriam, it was kind of bad. The 5-hour energies didn't mix well with the sassafras tea, and it created a hyper.
Wasn't his heart rate going crazy high?
Well, he was advanced
Right.
dehydration because both tea, that sassafras tea is a diuretic, and so is that 24-hour or 5-hour energy shit.
Yeah, that throws all your electrolytes off.
Right, and it compounded on him, and it threw him way out of whack. And
Heat, sun, and those energy drinks and stuff are an accident waiting to happen, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, see, would always work. When I was working up in Canada, we didn't have the 5-hour energy shit back then or nothing. We just got up early, had a big ass breakfast, fuel for the day, and a couple cups of coffee. That was it. And then you work until lunch, replenish your stores, and work until dinner.
Right. And get that at least hour running start. I remember when I was younger, I could do it like 5 minutes, and now it seems like I got to get up an hour early to get that hour running start at the day.
I'm kind of 2 hours now.
2 hours.
Yeah, I'm about an hour to 2. I need a minimum of an hour if I have to, the days that I go to work to get ready. Because I absolutely refuse to go to work without taking a shower first.
Hey, Huckleberry.
It's just a personal thing with me.
Right. There's my Huckleberry.
I need to wake up and have a couple smokes and sit on the can and check my news feed, take the shower, feed the cats, and get dressed and then go. That's about my routine every day.
Hi, Isaac. The setting on the can, that's funny because I with my OCD, I don't like public restrooms.
Yeah.
So I want to get everything taken care of at home.
Oops.
Hey, Zach.
Carpenter hit the red button.
Yep, I got the link for him.
Good deal. Oh man, but yeah. So getting all this stuff, having all this wood out here, all of a sudden, when the prices went through the roof and stuff like that, all of a sudden I was looking at that, I was like, oh wow, all of a sudden I'm rich.
Yeah.
Well, you got what, 40 acres there?
80 plus, almost 90.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
I'd settle for 5 right now. 5 acres where I can kind of have a little bit of a border between me and the neighbors and plant myself right in the center.
Right. That's pretty good though. Even 10 acres would be nice, and that kind of thing. But it's really nice when it's like this. We have damn near a mile of road frontage. You know what I'm saying? So there's nobody except for the person across the street, across the road, and they're back way off the road too. So
right now. 5 acres where I can.
What's up, Dave?
Good evening,
Dave.
all.
What's up, Dave?
Hey, not much. Where's you know who? Where did he get off early?
Kind of. He's got he lost his voice again, sore throat.
Okay.
I guess too much tequila last night, apparently.
Yes, evidently too much tequila.
Yeah, I keep telling him it's dehydration. He needs to drink water and some
Well,
salt.
yeah. I jumped in. I heard your energy drink requirements and all those things. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, a cup of coffee is a lot better in the morning. So
Right.
That's what I got it. Before I leave for the party, I'm doing one final supply run. I need to pick up because I cannot find my fucking percolator. If I'm camping, I gotta have percolated coffee. It's just
right. There you go.
Percolated coffee's the best. It is. It's better. It's better than there's something about it.
Especially if you got an old one that you've never really cleaned all that much.
Yeah, that's what we got at camp.
Yeah.
Never really cleaned ever.
Yeah.
Right.
Looks like shit, but God, the coffee's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got what is it? One of those put it this way, can make anything except it's looks like you went into Starbucks. I don't know why. Got a bean crusher on the top, the whole 9 yards. You can make espresso. Got the steam. You got all that fun stuff. So it's kind of like a barista in the house. Though I just use it for coffee, or I use the old-fashioned coffee press. I don't know if you guys ever used one of those. Yeah, we use that in Europe all the time. So, which is a really strong coffee if you make it that way. So, if any of you haven't seen what I'm talking about, I can go grab one out of the kitchen and show you. But I'll tell you what, you go buy one of these and put your coffee into that, and then put your hot water into that, and then just let it steep for a minute. You'll never drink coffee another way. That's literally not a joke.
I worked for a doctor one time, had one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Coffee maker, fancy things, ground his own beans, the whole 9 yards. He'd bring you out this little teacup full of coffee that, looked like fucking your kids would be playing. You'd drink that fucker, you guys, the hair on the back of your neck would stand up.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people.
It's like either Lebanese or Turkish style coffee, the real thick and syrup type. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you almost had to chew it.
Yeah, and they only serve it in like shot glass size servings.
That's what he had. These little tiny They look like kids would play with. First time he says, "You want an espresso?" I said, "What's that?" He says, "Coffee." I said, "Well, hell yeah, I'd have one." He brings me out this little fucking kitty cup. I'm like, "What the hell?" I drank it. I couldn't sit still for about 4 hours.
Yeah, the Cubans make one too. It's all they do is it's a shot of very high caffeine espresso bean, and then they add a tablespoon of sugar, and you go ahead and pop that. You're wired for the day. You're just
that's what it was like.
Hey, what's wrong with you? I don't know. My blood pressure must be like at 800 right now. I don't know why.
Right.
You get down in Little Cuba, and I'll tell you what, if you can balls to the wall a shot of Cuban espresso, yeah, then you get some credibility on the streets, because that's a punch stuff. That'll punch you in the nuts and make you wired. So it's kind of like, you want to go for a cross country drive? Go ahead and get a press and make a Cuban espresso shot. Goodbye. You'll make it across the country and back on one cup. So, but other than that, I'm going to bring one of those down with me, so you can all experience it if you wish. So, works out good.
So I'm not sure if I zoned out or if I fell asleep, but I just realized my phone was setting on my face. So I might drop my chat for a few, and I might talk to y'all later.
Yeah, I've got a few minutes here before I got to go to. So.
Yep. Top of the hour, I'm taking off.
What's that, Carp?
No, I just see you later, Sing.
Oh, yep. See you guys later.
All right, brother. See you tomorrow night.
Bye.
Sing was right about that country thing. You know, how do you learn to do shit? It's because you couldn't go anywhere. You didn't have anywhere to go get stuff. It was 30 miles to go do anything. You fixed and welded and wired and bolted and screwed shit back together, and you made it work.
Right.
I had a
Back
lady
like,
ask
you
me
know,
one time, how'd you ever learn to do all this shit? Because I was over at her house. I was pouring her concrete. I put in a sliding glass door. I put her garage door in. I shingled her shed in the back. I did a bunch of stuff. She said, how did you ever learn to do all that? I said, I never could afford to hire nothing done. I never, when I needed anything done, I had to do it, or I wasn't going to get done, because usually I could barely afford the material, let alone pay somebody to come do it.
Right.
So you get to get out there and learn hands-on right there in your face. If you want it done, you had to learn.
Right. And you had to do it.
Yeah. And I don't, that's a lot of what the younger generation's struggling with now. That's not mine's gonna. My kid, my grandson, he's learning it. But
right.
A lot of these younger kids, they haven't learned that, like that way to take care of yourself. They don't know how to take care of themselves or do anything for themselves.
Right.
I think I told you guys a story about Mallory and her boyfriends. Mallory and a couple of her friends, and then they had a couple of friends in the car too that were boys, and she had a flat tire. Well, she calls Dad, of course. So I go there to fix this tire. Now these kids, these aren't 16 years old and 15 years old. These are 20-some-year-old men.
Right.
And I get there and I said, oh shit, I wish we had a tire plug. Well, we got one, and opened it up. Here's a brand new and I'm thinking, well, what'd you call me for?
Right.
And I said, well, you had a tire plug. Why didn't you fix it? Well, I don't know how to use it. And I'm like, so I'm there. My arm was gimped. This was like in the middle of my second surgery on my arm. So my left arm I couldn't use. So there I am with my right arm, one hand kind of all bent, twisted, laying on the ground, trying to get this plug in this tire. And I got it fixed. And then, of course, I have a compressor that I run with in the back of my truck. It's there all the time with a generator the whole night. I don't even need power or nothing. So I get it out and I'm pumping the tire up. And these kids are just jaw dropped, stupid. Like that one kid said, I cannot believe that. You pulled up in that truck, you plugged that tire, you pulled out your generator, you fired your generator up, you plugged in your compressor, and now you're filling the tire. And I'm thinking, doesn't everybody?
Right.
At least like most guys that I know carry one of those small portable tanks. They just fill them with air. So they've always got, a tire or two full of air in the back of their truck with it. And you just turn it off and you turn it on when you want to pump something up.
Right.
One of them air tanks. It's just like they never learned how to do anything for themselves. It's like you people are just screwed. You just don't know how screwed you are.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say, Wiz, that's the same way I grew up. Old European style. It's like you're gonna learn how to put bricks down. Boop. How old are you? 7. Go get some bricks.
Right.
You're gonna learn. Watch what I'm doing. Good man.
Someone here was talking about that. I think it was Singh was talking about moving them out. You guys, when I was 12 years old, my dad we moved out buildings. Yeah, that's what we did. That's what he did for a living. I did that till I was in my 20s.
Yeah, I had in my family a master electrician, master plumbers, master masonry, just everything, and you just got passed around, pretty much slave labor, as my dad
tradesman.
like to call it. So
yep, tradesman.
Yeah, you learn how to do it. So when I went to college, just as a joke, as a second course, for like a minor, I got an associate's in construction occupations. God, that was like a whiz. It just whizzed right through. It's like, yeah. How the hell do you know how to do all these angle calculations? And you can do it by eye. And I'm like, I've been around it a lot. Farm life, pretty much, which is fine with me. So, hey, Wiz, I've got Chris's vehicle up and running the way it should. I don't know if he's told you about that.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. he's been coming over here using my tools and stuff like that, and we've been putting it in. The only thing that he forgot to do today because he wasn't feeling so good was his windshield wipers. Because I bought him a motor, you just have to put it in, so his windshield wipers are working more efficiently than what they were, which is not working at all.
Right. All right.
Really
Awesome.
I changed his oil. You know, he was wondering why his truck was so loud. And I'm like, why is your truck loud? Well, your muffler's kind of not working right, but okay. And next thing I know, I'm like, I checked his oil. Oh, thank God I put oil in that thing. Oh, thank God. I put in probably about 4 quarts of oil. And it just brought it up.
Oh, my God.
It brought it up to the ADME level. I'm like, holy shit, let me get you some more oil. I got some more oil in the barn. And I put that in, and then I offered to change his transmission filter, put in fresh trans fluid. I told him, hey, listen, I can crack your rear diff and put a seal on it and fill it up with new diff oil. And, so these are things that I've been helping him out with so he can make the journey very safely. So,
good deal. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem at all. I'm coming. I can only come on set because of work. You know what I mean? So it's more or less.
Right.
But I'm coming on Saturday and Sunday, and the wifey wants to bring her shotgun and blow. In other words, she needs to break its virginity. So. If you guys haven't seen the shotgun, you will see it when it's there. A friggin' zombie shotgun. It's a Remington, yeah, with zombies all over. I know we've talked about that in the past. So she wants to break. Pink. Yeah, pink. She wants to break that thing in. I'm like, all right, you think you can get off work? And she goes, well, I'll go for the weekend. I'm like, all right, fine. So that's where we're coming. You know what I mean? So we are coming.
Excellent.
So, yeah, it'll be fun. You know what I mean? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give Chris my my tent, and I'm going to have him set it up, you know what I mean, for me so that when we get there, it's already done.
Right.
Yeah, that'll work out good. And is there anything else you need, Wiz, to bring? I mean, so I know if you need anything, let me know, and then I'll bring it. So.
Okay, well, we get closer, we'll find out what those items are.
Yeah. Just let me know, and we'll bring it. I'm going to run to the airport because around here, it's for renting cars or whatever. I've decided I'm going to rent an SUV, a big one, so I can carry whatever extra stuff Chris can't carry.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to carry. So whatever has got to be taken that can fit into an SUV, I'll grab the SUV, and everybody. Yeah, now I'll bring whatever's left. So that's. Yeah,
you said before you were going to rent a camper unit.
Yeah, trying to get a camper. Oh my God, these people! Swear to God, $200 a day and 25 cents a mile.
The price for campers has gone up because COVID is over and everybody wants to go RVing and camping.
Yeah, that's what happened. Literally. Because I remember seeing the same thing for $60 a day. You know what I mean? And 10 cents a mile. Now it's ridiculous. So I'm like, when I did the math and everything, I'm like, oh, that's going to be like a $3,000 weekend.
Whoa!
Well, just so you know, Dave, I did buy a rooftop cargo carrier to throw on top of Apex's Jeep, so that's going to increase our capacity.
Oh yeah, you guys will be fine. Yeah, his
well, I mean, there is some big shit that I'm planning on bringing that we might need some extra room to carry. Someone else. I'd like to take my chainsaw. I'm bringing a bunch of guns.
Well, that's the same with us. Yeah, that's
a bunch of shit. So
we're gonna bring the weaponry, and then we're going to what the heck is it? Like I said, anything extra that we can toss, I've got it, and I've got chainsaws. Of course, I live on a farm, so I got any massive tools, I pretty much got it. So, which will be fun. But yeah, that'll be fine. Are you guys coming and staying over this way first?
Yeah. What's going to happen? He's going to drive out to my place.
Yep.
In a couple of days. He's going to probably come out early, and we're going to do a little bit of last minute shopping around here. Right. He'll spend the night at my place. The next morning, we're going to drive out and pick up Kim, and
Yep.
then drive out to where you are,
Yeah.
spend the night, and then the next day we're driving out to Oz.
Yeah, that's not a problem at all. So that'll work out really good for everybody. You get to pit stop it, like I said, and if anybody, like I told Chris, if anything as far as space where people want to, whatever, I've got.
Well, he was saying it doesn't sound like his dad wants people camping over his place, so we might be going over to your backyard to set up our tent.
Yeah. I've got 20 acres you can
Yeah.
work on. So, like I said, and then I'll make access to the farm. You can go upstairs and you can use whatever facilities necessary. I got a whole second area upstairs, so I'm right now
cool.
redoing my office area over the garage. I've ripped all the carpet up. I'm going to be putting down hardwood floors, and I'm going to be repainting the bitch. So it's going to be the new office / I told Chris that I'm going to build him. Did you like his screen that I got him? Did you like his little 3D screen that he?
I was wondering where he got that from.
Yeah, I bought that for him. What happened is I bought one for me, and it ended up being free because I have so many damn points on Amazon. So I get the thing for free. It doesn't work for me, but it works for him because of the new camera whiz. So I went ahead and I got myself I got myself a really good green screen, but it's wider. And I told Chris once we're done upstairs, I'm going to dedicate an area for this. You know what I mean? So that it'll be quiet, got the green screen, got the good cameras, got the sound buffering, the whole 9 yards. And I said, you can come over here anytime you want, just come in through the garage and then go upstairs to the office when I'm done. Key in, and you can do whatever the fuck you want. So, yeah.
Right. Awesome.
Right.
Awesome.
Well, I got to take off, guys.
All right.
So I think it's time to call it a night. I know, Wizard, you want to crash too.
Yeah, I got to crash.
I'm going to do the same thing. I just jumped on because I dozed off at like 8 o'clock, 8:30. So I woke up. I'm like, oh, crap, I missed it. No. So,
Well, God bless you all.
Yes.
Thank you for making this a wonderful night. A great show.
Good stream tonight.
Skull, Carpenter, Huckleberry. Amen, brother. Salute to you, Dave. Thank you for helping out with Apex. That's awesome. I'm really happy about that. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are going to be trapped. Let's just put it this way. I would be comfortable in driving in that truck across country. Let's put it that way. I fixed it so I knew that the basics are covered. He should have no issues whatsoever. His battery was not charging. And guess what? We were about to do all these millions of things. And I said, wait a minute. Let me check something. Looked at his posts and his terminals and his thing. I took the cutters off and put new ones on. And his truck starts up just like it should. I go, it's not your battery, bro. It's your damn contacts for your freaking battery. That's it. So $120 for a battery, all this crap. Honestly, if you troubleshoot, you can find it's the most simplest of things. So good night, everybody.
Yeah, just so you know, on screen there, that's the carrier that I got.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
18 cubic feet. So
how much was that thing?
$100
on Amazon.
Actually, Walmart.
Walmart. Oh, you went to Walmart.com and bought it, or you went to Walmart to buy it? Okay.
They it was 2-day shipping, and it showed up a day early, so I got it in like just a little over 24 hours.
I like that. I'm gonna take a quick screenshot, okay? Just so I want to screen.
All right, dream well, Patriots. I'm out.
Yep. Catch you later, Wiz.
All right, everybody. Talk tomorrow.
Peace out, home slices. Catch you on the flip side.